in on Monday the 25th for Christmas in July. We'll have everything you need to get those Christmas craft stalls ready. We'll have lots of inspiration for party season jewellery and festive designs. Christmas in July. Unbelievable.
We're here at the Jewellery Maker Summer Garden Party. I'm here with Tori. How are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you.
Oh, fantastic. Now, as a Jewellery Maker regular, pearls, you love them, don't you?
I do. You can't beat them. They're perfect in every way.
Coming up at the end of this month, we've got a special Pearl Day on Jewellery Maker where you are going to be able to get these 3 1-metre length strands of pearls.
Are they all 1 metre?
Yeah, they're all 1 metre.
Wow.
And it's going to be one deal. Okay.
Dibs.
Yeah, I know. It's incredible, isn't it? If I told you you are going to be able to get these 3 strands together in one bundle for under £100.
I wouldn't believe you, but I do know Jewellery Maker, and these are they are lovely. They're beautiful. I want them. I might accidentally have to turn on that day and accidentally have something drop into my basket and buy them. Oh. But yeah, no, that would be a fantastic price for less than £100. I mean, they are really lovely, and they look real.
Yeah.
They've got lovely orient and colour, and they're just lovely.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Tori.
Right. No
awesome.
probs.
A hit, I think.
Yes.
Good afternoon, welcome to Jewellery Maker. If you've just tuned in, I'm Hannah Stuart, taking you through until 5 o'clock this afternoon, joined by the very sun-kissed Lady Laura.
Hi.
How are you, love?
I wouldn't go for a sun-kissed.
I think you do look sun-kissed.
Sun-slapped, I think.
Well, when you walked in, I thought you looked quite brown. I didn't really think it's burnt. I just thought brown.
Yeah.
But then she showed me her shoulder.
Yeah.
Ooh, stay safe.
Yeah.
Wear sunscreen. Laura had her 8-year-old daughter putting sun cream on her.
Got lectured from her as well.
Rightly so as well.
She lectured me,
Tell
got
you.
it, and then put it on my back.
Tell you. A little bit too late though.
A little bit too late, but by then.
Never mind. Gorgeous kits coming up for you today. Lab cabs. Oh, you should see them. They are epic. They're really, really beautiful. Labradorite cabochons and labradorite strand coming up for you in the first kit with lots of wire. Second kit today, I've got abalone and I've got fluorite as well. It's beautiful. Now, every day here at Jewellery Maker on the mid-show, we have the one to own, which is exclusive to us here on the mid-show. It takes place at 3 o'clock every day. I'm very excited about what we've got today because we've never had anything quite like it before. Half a metre. Oh, yes. Half a metre. In fact, this particular strand is 53 centimetres of lavender opal, collector's gemstone, massive, massive carat weight, going to the most ridiculous, ridiculous price tag. So this morning we played Guess the Price Tag game, and bearing in mind, you know, this is a 50 centimetre strand. This is the longest strand of lavender opal that we've had. It's collector's gemstone. So I started at £29.95. That's where I started. Went round the office, pretty much between £30 and £45. Then our producer Phil, in his brightly coloured shirt, told us that that strand today is going under £10. I know, as if we're taking it down. That's half a metre you've got there. And I've got some 6mm round pearls coming up with you. I've got to show you this as well. Never ever seen this before. Chrome dioxide gemstone chain that you've got here, 925 sterling silver. This is beautiful. And that is coming up for you at approximately 2 o'clock, so not too long to wait for that at all. I've got pyrite cabs, I've got Zambian emerald as your deal of the day today, and I've got crazy colour coming up for you towards the end of the show. First star buy, brand new strand of ruby. Brand new strand of ruby, never ever been seen before. This strand, you've got a massive carat weight, and because it's a star buy, just like your deal of the day, just like the one to own, we're going to go that little bit further on price for you today. Check out the colour. Do you know, for me, I only have to look at that and know straight away that that is completely natural, that strand. That depth of colour that you have, that sumptuous colour that you have, you just don't have that in treated rubies. And for me, it is definitely about that depth of colour. A very, very romantic gemstone. A beauty. In fact, it's this month's birthstone as well, isn't it? July's birthstone, 40th wedding anniversary, just perfect. Now, ruby is one of your big five, which means that basically it is considered to be one of the world's most precious gemstones. So your big five consists of tanzanite, sapphires, emeralds, diamonds and rubies, and you have 45 carats in this strand. Now 95% of the entire world's supply of ruby is treated in some way, so that leaves us with just 5% that is completely natural. This is part of that 5% right here. And look at how many gemstones you have on this strand. There are absolutely loads. Can you imagine channel setting these into a ring? How beautiful would that look? You've got your graduated plain rondelles here, 2x1 to 5x2 millimetres in size. And that is a 17 centimetre strand that you've got there. Now, if you just type into any search engine, rubies, do you know what I think? I think the majority of rubies that you will find will be treated rubies. And I think the majority of rubies that you will find will all be way into 3 figures. I think you'll struggle to find anything in less than 3 figures on the internet. It's one of those gemstones that has been worn by kings and queens for centuries. And you are getting the opportunity today to own 45 carats of, in my opinion, the most spectacular colour in ruby, the deepest, most sumptuous, rich ruby red hues. You've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Do you know, I'm going to go with a good 60 to 70 gemstones on that strand there. Some bigger than others there, but if you take the bigger gemstones there, you could easily be looking at a minimum of a carat in some of those bigger gemstones in a single gemstone. That is absolutely huge. You could make an entire suite with what you have here. Mirabelle says under £10 for ruby. Is Mary on the web? Yes. So Webbers can see the price tag. I can't. I have no idea. Telephone bidders have no idea. We're going under £10. £8.95 for genuine natural ruby. What does that work out to per carat? £8.95 for 45 carats. Really easy for you to get involved today. All you need to do is dial that number on the bottom of your screen. It's 0800 644 655, or you can join us on the web, just like our Mary, at www.jewellerymaker.com. All you need to do is make sure that you check out your basket. So once you've popped something in your basket, you haven't actually secured your purchase. You do need to make sure that you're completing that checkout. It doesn't matter how many times you are logging in and checking out. In any one day, you will still only pay one postage and packaging of just £2.95. Loads of you checking out for these. Got multi-buyers, collectors multi-buying as well. Massive congratulations. 0800 644 655. Put it with the sapphire that we had yesterday. If you managed to get yesterday your the one to own sapphire rounds that we had, they were gorgeous. Put them with your sapphire. Put them with your pearls. I've got some 6mm pearls coming up for you a little bit later on. Some of those smaller pearls are spacers in with. Can you imagine? Some of those rubies in spacers with your pearls. Can you imagine the valuation of something like that? A 6mm round pearl necklace with rubies in there as well. Make sure you keep watching for this one. That's coming up a little bit later on. 0800 644 655. Lots and lots of you there. Lynn in Greater Manchester, Angela in Cornwall, Jan in Leicestershire, Leslie in Cornwall, Collector in Denbighshire, Collector in Lincolnshire, Wendy in Conwy, well done. Dawn in South Yorkshire, Sissy in Oklahoma, Helen in Gwent, Paul in Cambridgeshire, you've just got yours, Madeline in South Yorkshire, Ol in Lancashire, you've just joined me as well. Congratulations to you. No matter what your preference is when it comes to wire and findings, whether it be silver, gold, copper, it will all really, really work with this strand, won't it? You've got a beautiful hue there in your ruby that's going to work with so many gemstones in your stash as well. Massive, massive congratulations if you've managed to do it already. And if you haven't dialed it, do you know what? You can still do it. Sometimes we do move on from auctions. That's just to fit in as much as we can, but doesn't mean that it's sold out. So please, at any point, if you're playing on the phone lines, keep a note of the code, dial through and ask the call centre if there's any still left. If you're playing on the web, it will tell you there anyway if there's any quantity still available and when things have sold out at just $8.95. I think it's safe to say this one is going to sell out. Well done. Now, we are going to give one of these to Laura as a challenge. 10 to 4, so she won't have much time. Look at these. Have you ever seen pyrite cabochons before, Laura?
No, I haven't.
Look at these.
They're really cool though, aren't they?
Aren't they just?
Yeah.
Now, it is, in particular, our producer, Phil, that wanted to give you these as a challenge, and I think he's after something in particular, Laura, as far as design goes with these, so maybe we can get him to come out at half-time and we'll have a half-time huddle and discuss it. They're gorgeous, aren't they? Never ever seen them before. Pyrite cabochons, stunning. Coming up for you a little bit later on. Gorgeous. Righty-ho. So we are just, oh, do you know, I've got a silk wire bundle coming up for you at the end of the hour as well, haven't I? Yeah. Yeah, if it gets here on time. So new, we don't even have it yet. Love that. Brilliant, isn't it? Right, I'm just going to show you these opals again. I want everybody to be able to get this today. Never been seen before. 1/2 metre of lavender opals, 3 o'clock on the dot. Now, if you've got to go and do the school run, perhaps get somebody to come in for you or download the app so you can take us with you. We'll come on the school run with you. We'll do it all together. We're nearly there, last one tomorrow. 1/2 metre of lavender opal, a couple of hours, 3 o'clock. Right, let's go over and have a look at the kit. Do you know, labradorite. If I had, so my top 6 favourite gemstones are all green. My number 1 is in particular Zambian emerald, which is your deal of the day today. But if I had a 1.5, it would be labradorite. Yeah, I've got like about 20 different gemstones at number 2. But if I could have one in between, it would be labradorite. I just love this gemstone. And I actually love the fact that producer Phil, scheduled some strands of labradorite particularly for me today. He's like, put that one in because I know you like it. Yes. Have a look at what we have here. Laura, I love these cabochons. They're massive.
They're great, aren't they?
Yeah. Absolutely huge. Now, I have 6 individual cabochons. You know, I've got a great variety of shapes. Did you get the same shapes or were they different?
I had slightly different. I didn't have like a square, a rectangle one, but I did have like the kind of angled one, almost like a shark tooth kind of shaped one. So yeah, there's a fair few mix.
They are gorgeous. See, in this pack here, I've got that round one, which I love. That we don't see. Oh, can you imagine that as a moon in a giant tree of life?
Yeah, beautiful.
That would be gorgeous, wouldn't it? That's really, really pretty. I've got a pair there as well. I've got an oval. In fact, I've got 2 pairs. I've got a rectangle in there, huge oval there. So these, you could use these as pendants. You could have them as statement rings if you wanted to. You could incorporate them into brooch designs if you wanted to. Just yesterday, I was saying, well, actually, I say it all the time. That having labradorite on your craft stall, it's always going to get people over to your craft stall. It will instantly draw the crowds. Because of that phenomena, that labradorescence that you have there, it's always going to catch people's eyes every time, whether you're wearing it or whether you have it on your craft stall. So perhaps you are brand new to us here at Jewellery Maker and you're actually thinking of somewhere to start. I actually think this would be a really, really great kit to come in for because you've got lots of gemstone here and you've got wire. And I know I've said this to you before as well, Laura, I think that having bigger cabochons, especially if you're a beginner, they're easier to work with.
Yeah, definitely, because they've got a better a working surface as well. But the thing with the labradorites is that they've got quite a nice... Some gemstones have got quite slippery kind of surface to them, where these have got a nice grip to them. Yeah. So they're going to hold the wire. They're not going to be so tricky and fiddly to kind of do your designs with.
Okay. That's good to know as well. Look at the size of it. I mean, look at the depth of them as well. The carat weight on these is absolutely colossal. It really is. You have 230 carats in your cabochons. Now, not guaranteed how many you will get or the shapes and sizes, but that carat weight is guaranteed. So it might be that you get more cabochons of smaller sizes, you might get less cabochons at bigger sizes. But I think this is always a great one to come in and multi-buy for, so you can actually pick your favourite one then, and you can just send the other one back. No quibble money back guarantee. If you want to do that with anything here at Jewellery Maker, you know, if you want to multi-buy so that you can pick your favourite, like the deal of the day yesterday, just do it and send the others back. That's absolutely fine. So you've got 230 carats in your cabochons there. Look at these. We don't see this shape very often. Wow. Wheels, your Labradorite wheels, have a look at these, and you've still got all of that incredible Labrador essence there. 60 carats of your Labradorite, your faceted wheels. Oh, it says faceted, are they?
I don't think they are.
Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. They don't look it from a distance, but when you get up close and personal, they are. 60 carats you've got there, 3x2 to 5x3 millimetres in size, and that is a 30 centimetre strand that you have there as well. Now, it's all about the angle in which the light hits the gemstone to enable you to see that Labrador essence. So, outside, if you get these on a sunny day, take them outside in natural daylight. My goodness me, the sun just bounces off these. They're gorgeous. I love this kit. Check out the wire. Woo! Oh, wire workers heaven. 100 metres, a 0.4. Gold dust, that is, gold dust. 100 metres, normally we bring you 10 metre reels here at Jewellery Maker. Sometimes we bring you 50 metre reels. But with 0.4, that's the gauge that I'm referring to, which is the thickness of the wire. So 0.4 is quite a fine wire, and wire workers will use this for weaving with. So because it is a weaving wire, you actually get through a lot of it. So it's really, really great to have 100 metres. And that is your silver plated wire that you've got there. You've got 10 metres of your 1mm gauge there, which is your thicker gauge. So your 1mm you can use for rings, you can use for torque necklaces to give you that structure in your jewellery. And then you've got your silver plated 0.8mm gauge there, and you've got 10 metres of that one as well. So you've got 3 fantastic gauges, 120 metres of wire. Now, I'm just thinking, if one of these cabochons, I'm going to take, which one should I take? Oh, it's just too many to choose from.
I like that one.
I like the rectangle.
Yeah, I do.
For a ring, I think that's gorgeous, isn't it? If I'd wire wrap this into a ring, and I'd use 925 sterling silver, I think I'd be selling that high double figures.
And also, because it's of the angle of that one, you could catch the corner, so you could keep the wrap really relatively simple.
Yeah.
And still really let that the stone shine.
Yeah.
So
yeah, not cover up too much of the gemstone.
Too much of it, yeah.
That would look fab, wouldn't it? I mean, that's just one of the gemstones. If you're using your silver plated, you know, obviously that might be a little bit less, but it's entirely up to you. And I could do that 6 times over with the cabochons that I've got there and all of that strand. Now have a look. You may have had a sneak peek yesterday because, in fact, I'm surprised you haven't got like tan lines somewhere in the neck. Because Laura was in the garden yesterday.
I was modelling too, Nick. I was having a field day.
I just thought I'd take advantage of wearing my design in the sunshine. Yeah, so I'm surprised you haven't got tan lines.
Yeah, that's the problem with something like that. You get burnt around it.
Oh my gosh, look at that! How long did that take you to make, Laura?
That one did actually take me, this whole kit, I have to say, took me longer than sort of standardly with my kits. This probably took me about a day and a half.
Wow.
For the whole kits completely.
There is so much work in these designs, isn't there?
I mean, there's pieces that are simple.
Yeah.
And then there was pieces that, like the main focal piece, it was something that the way I normally work is I'll focus on a piece and then I'll move on to my next piece.
Okay.
But I actually had about 3 pieces on the go.
Right.
So I don't normally work like that. But because I didn't quite know my direction, I was kind of putting that down and picking up the next one, going in the direction of that one. And that one ended up being a double pendant because I prong set the smaller cabochon on the bottom, and I could not work out what I was going to do with it, if it was going to be a bracelet, if it was going to be a ring, and then in the end I was like, do you know what, it looks really cool on there. So I just attached it to that.
Love it. And this is the great thing, there's no right, there's no wrong, you just do whatever you want to do. They are incredible pieces. You know that masterpiece there, Laura, what kind of price tag do you think you'd pop on something like that?
Something like that I'd have to probably start, say, around about 60 as a start price, because obviously it's plated metal, but as a start price I would say about 60, because of the time that goes into it. It was one of those, it is quite labour intensive. And it's one that kind of now I know what I did, I could do it quicker, but I had to kind of evolve and find out my direction with it.
That's fantastic, isn't it? I mean, there is so much in this kit as well. They are wire heavy and they're gem heavy. Did you have anything left?
I had a little bit of my, surprisingly used a lot of my 1 mil. Obviously I had this is what I had left off my 0.4.
Goodness, no, I don't think you'd have that much left.
And my 0.8, because a lot of it was 1 mil heavy. I mean, if you look at the ring, if you spied that one.
Oh, look at that.
But that was the first thing I did, actually. And I just had to do it. But if you turn it over and take it off, I was actually I really like the way that I finished this one. It was done slightly differently.
Ooh, look at that.
But I really like the way that it was done.
That's
and the effect that it had. I thought it looked really quite nice on the back, because sometimes finishing pieces like that off on the back are the tricky things. You know, you've got 6 wires ultimately you need to finish, but I was really happy with how that one turned out. I wanted it to look heavy and statementy, but that stone was just beautiful, and it had to be a ring.
I could stare at that all day.
It's beautiful,
look at that
isn't it?
Blue. That is gorgeous. Absolutely love that. Do you know, we're already at £35 and a few pennies there. £35 and 77 pence. Phil said earlier on he's going to make a bundle and he's going to call it 7-11.
Oh,
just
thank
for
you.
Yeah.
Just wait, I have to be on it.
RCGC 38 is your code for this one. 0800 644 655. So that price is the price tag you would be paying if you bought all of these components individually.
Wow.
Oh, Phil, if I could do that run-up jumpy thing now. There wasn't a pane of glass there. That's all right. That price tag, £19. That doesn't just deserve a high five. That deserves one of those things. They call them chest bumps.
Like chest bumps, isn't
it? £19 and 95 pence. That is incredible. If you go to any kind of silver boutiques, your seaside shops, and you have a look at this quality of labradorite that has been, say, Tracy that was here yesterday doing silver clay. You know, if you set one of these, Bezel set one of these into silver clay, you would certainly be looking at high double figures. If not 3 figures for something like that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's kind of what I was kind of going for with the ring. That kind of simply set. It was made it a little bit too big for you, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sure, I should add a piece of wire in there to make it a bit smaller.
We could tweak it. But yeah, that's the kind of look I was going for, that kind of almost framed setting, but I wanted the wire to be visible around the edges while I have that sort of thicker base.
Can I just say, for all of you at home right now that are watching, how many of you can sit there now and say, do you know what, I'd pay £20 for that ring? That's the money back on the kit.
Yeah, just on that one piece.
On that one ring there. And Laura, did you have 6 cabochons
I
in your
did in
pack?
both my kits,
So
actually.
you would have had 5 cabochons left over, your whole strand, and loads of wire, and you've got your money back on the kit. That is phenomenal value. Do you know what I would be doing? Multi-buying. Labradorite, I think, is always going to be one of those gemstones that is a massive hit. I've only ever heard of one of our customers saying they don't like labradorite. I know, they're just gorgeous, aren't they? Just beautiful. Loads of you multi-buying as well, and loads of these in baskets, but it is all about confirmation. RCGC38 voted your favourite gemstone for 3 years running here at Jewellery Maker. Only just pipped to the post last year by Tanzanite. But do you know what? It's still up there as a favourite. So popular, so mystical, so magical. I love this gemstone.
It's still, like you say, it's something magical about it. It's ethereal. It's got these properties in it that just make you, even if you don't, I think what it's got is that if people don't know what it is, it draws them to it as well because of the illusions in it, really. You know, you can go complex, you can keep it simple. I've got enough wire, but just, you know, not enough time, but I could Viking knit a chain to go on every single one of these.
Goodness
so, you know, if and I've got the wire here and the 0.8, so you've got the materials within this kit to create wire woven, Viking knitted cheap piece for each of those, and that's going to bump the value up again because you've given it that extra piece. So
the value in this kit is just incredible for what you are getting there. It really, really is. There are about 30 in baskets right now. Just make sure you're checking out as soon as you possibly can. You're going to have this kit home in a couple of days' time, and you can get to work either on some of these projects or you can do your own thing with this. It's entirely up to you. Phenomenal. Tanya's messaged him. She says, I would pay more for that ring. I love labradorite. I have little dishes on my workbench. Love Laura's designs.
Thank you.
Oh, Tanya in the West Midlands. I do know I would pay more than that for that design. I really would. And this is the thing, and I'd love you to do this if you can as well. Just when you're out and about, have a look at the quality of labradorite elsewhere. I was saying just yesterday, there's so many times that I've been into jewellers, and there's one particular shop that I go to in Pembrokeshire, and I've been really disappointed with the quality of the labradorite. We just don't have that here at Jewellery Maker. We don't compromise on quality. You still get those incredible, incredible prices, but you've got all the quality there. It's just fantastic. Well done if you've managed to get that. Keep checking outside. There's still quantity available. So if you do want to come in, if you decide through Laura's demo that actually you do want to come in, just get dialing. Numbers at the bottom of your screen. Righty ho then, Laura, which piece are you going to show us?
Well, I was going to sort of attempt to break down the big statement necklace, really, because it's statement day. So let's just do it. So, I don't know what that was. I'm sorry. It's been a long morning.
Stressful morning.
Stressful morning.
But at least it wasn't 30 degrees while you were stuck in the traffic jam. There is that.
There is that. It's a bonus, yeah. So basically, what I did want to do before I said before I thought of demoing this is I checked my second kit to make sure I had an oval and a teardrop.
Right.
Because that was my main. I know you can't see on there, but that was my main focus for the pendant.
Yeah.
When you get these cabochons, when you play about with them, you've got so much variety of what you could do with them. So, you know, play about, I would think, well, that would be a ring. So set it aside, look at it and think, that's exactly what I did with that. The ring, the one I used for the ring, to me, it just it screamed out to be set as a ring. It had to be. So I'd put that to a ring. So I'm looking, and then I would put probably this oval here because it's a little bit more rounded, so it'd probably balance out the shape of the drops better. So then I've got the shape of chance of 3 drops. So then it's just looking at it and thinking which one, colour-wise or size. I mean, they're all pretty similar, but it's just, you know, if you've got some that have got quite a variety to it. I mean, looking at yours, you've got a teardrop and an oval. So you could do it
round.
You've got a round, so you've got different shapes you could play with. Like, if you've got that rectangle, so if I borrowed that, if I wanted, I'm going to give it back, don't worry. I'm not. I am. Yeah, again, look at your choice changes all of a sudden. So you can set it like that, or, you know, and you can play about. So, like you say, getting a couple of packs, it really is.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because if I mix this pack with this pack, my opportunity changes yet again. So I will return those 3.
I really like that rectangle.
Okay, so as I said, and what is quite good if you can is to try and get them of similar depth if you've got a choice, okay? For no reason other than when you're doing it and it's set, it just looks a bit more balanced, okay? So, what I'm going to do is use my 1mm wire, because I want this as the frame, and I'm going to mirror the shape. So I've just used my pliers just to create this shape. Now what I've done is I've cut a length probably about 1 metre of my 1mm wire off, and I've just gone to the centre, formed a point, and then just shaped. So you can see how that's been done. So what my theory is, the best way to do this is to turn your cabochons over. I appreciate you can't see them very well there. But what you want to do is then place your stone, your wire, and if that helps, doesn't it, if it's the right way around? So if that sits just on the inside of the stones. Okay? So look, if I was to turn it over and place it on like this, you cannot see the frame. Okay? So that frame is just sitting on the inside of the cabochon. What we're going to do is net it. We've done the netting before, but it is nice just to see it. Now this is what I'm going to do is like a double netting. So I'm actually going to net both of these on this frame, whereas, you know, rather than netting them individually. So what I'm going to do is just take probably about 1 metre of wire, probably a little bit too much, but it'd be nice if I can get it all done in one go. Start from where feels most comfortable for you. If you're left-handed or right-handed, it doesn't make a difference, just in the direction that you're going to go. Most left-handed people tend to go anti-clockwise, whereas I tend to go clockwise. It doesn't make a difference as long as your technique's the same. I learned this when I was trying to teach Rob how to do cabochons. That was fun. He's left-handed. So when my wires cross here, I'm going to take my 0.4 and I'm just going to wrap it a couple of times to bind these wires together. Now I am actually going to cut my wire a bit shorter because it's going to give me a bit of a hindrance otherwise. Okay. And what you notice is that I'm pushing with my finger so that I can get the loop and then I can pull that loop through. That way I'm not trying to find the end and feed the wire through. I need to do it a couple of times, and then the tail wire here, I'm just going to wrap around this single wire here and get rid of. because we don't like the little tails. And if you forget to get rid of it now, then you might forget at a later stage. So my wire is facing towards me, in front of me. What I've got, my finger just to move it out of the way, okay? And I'm going to feed the wire up into the frame, okay?
Yeah.
And the wire stays in front, and it just forms that loop. Now I'm going to do my loops relatively large just because I want to net this quickly.
Okay, yeah.
But if I was doing it properly, I would take the time to make them smaller.
Right.
Okay. Just using your finger, just to guide the shape of that.
Okay.
You can see I've got that little loop there.
Yeah.
That is right. If you don't have that,
Yeah.
then it's not right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you have, just quickly unfeed it and I'll show you. If you cross it this way, so you go behind the wire, what will happen is, oh, this happens as well. This drove me crazy. It's because it's a double loop.
Yeah.
What will happen is you'll lose that loop. So it looks like you've got that loop, but when you pull it,
You lose it.
there is no loop. Can
Yeah.
you see it's just like a running
Yeah,
stitch? But so it's, you need to have that wire going through. I tend, like I said, I use my finger to hold that wire out of the way, feed the wire up, pull it, and then just guide it into the shape of the loop. Now, as I said, mine are going to be larger just because I want to net this quickly. Obviously, the larger the loops you do, the quicker it's going to net, and the less rows you're going to need to do.
Okay, yeah.
You can also quickly hammer this frame if you want to,
Yeah.
just lightly around the edges. Don't hammer where the wire crosses because you can weaken that as a joint, okay? Now, I've got to this cross point, and I am actually going to bring the wire up into the centre of that cross point, so you can see. So I am still going to use this because I am going to net this stone on its own, and then I'll net this stone on its own. So all I'm doing is bringing the frame together, really. Going around. Going around. Right. So once I've gone all the way around, what I'm going to do is, I will give you 2 seconds.
Okay.
Right, so I've done my first row, and I'm going to flatten them out.
Yeah.
That's like a little flower.
Ah.
Place my stone in. Now sometimes it can lose its shape.
Right.
So that's easy to do because I've still got these wires here, and that will adjust it.
Ah,
So if you've hammered it, that's probably less likely to happen.
Yeah.
But if you haven't, you just tweak it. But what you don't want is the risk of your stone slipping through the frame. So you need to make sure it does sit just around the outside of that stone, just on the inside, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so if I turn that back over, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hands to hold it nice and firmly. Now, you can use masking tape. Some people find it easier.
Yeah.
And the first loop, I'm going to repeat exactly the same technique, but into each loop now.
Okay.
So going round and up into, I am. And then the reason I've put a stone is because I can pull it against the stone.
Yeah.
Okay, so already that's setting. Now this is because I've used larger loops. So, you know, if you want to get it done sort of a bit quicker, that's how you can do it, all right? So I'll just quickly net that in.
Okay, fabulous. I'll bring you some more cabochons. How do you fancy all of these for a challenge?
Just spike them, they're really nice.
Yeah, if you can use all of these by 4 times.
I'd totally do that.
Have a look at all of these that you're getting here. There are absolutely loads. 990 carats in total. Goodness me. Do you know what? I think this is the really great thing. If you come in and buy packs like this, and you just have them on your craft stall and you get your customers to pick their favourite one. Because I like to do things like that as well. You know, there might be some that I'm instantly drawn to. I'm looking now. I like this one here. That's one of my favourites. I think that would be my favourite for a ring. And I would definitely be going for this one for a brooch. I mean, look at that. Can you imagine this as a brooch? That would look fabulous, wouldn't it? Would look great with your gold wire as well, because you've got the gold and pyrite inclusions within your lapis. Gold wire looks fantastic with these and looks really, really, it complements it really well. But so does your silver, so does your copper. You know, anything goes with this at all. There are so many here. You've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 19. I've got 19 individual cabochons. Again, I can't guarantee that number for you, but I can guarantee that carat weight. So you might get less of them at bigger sizes, you might get more of them at smaller sizes, but you are guaranteed that carat weight. But again, it's a great opportunity to come in and perhaps multi-buy, you know, get a couple of these, pick your favourite pack perhaps, you know, try and get some different shapes in there. I haven't got any rectangles, in fact I haven't got any circles, any rounds here either, but you know, you might in the next pack, so get a few if you can. £19.95. I've got 19 cabochons here. That's like £1 something each. Have you seen the size of this one here? I mean, that's got to be 40 carats easily, just by itself. Easily. Less than £1 each, just £14 and 95 pence. I mean, we are all for passing on deals, aren't we, as jewellery makers and when we're selling our jewellery, but there's no way you'd actually sell these for less than £1 each, is there? Even if you just sold them as they are, didn't do anything to them at all, just had them in a little basket on your craft stall and kind of sold them, you know, for, I don't know, a couple of pounds each, depending on the size of them. Obviously, you could have a basket of the larger ones at kind of £4 or £5 each and the smaller ones at kind of £3 each. That is a phenomenal value pack of cabochons you've got there. JSNV79 is your code for these. 0800 644 655. You've got that classic colour there that will go with any outfit. I mean, who doesn't have a pair of jeans? There's not many people, is there, that don't have a pair of jeans. You've got those gorgeous denim blues through your lapis as well, so they're going to look great with your casuals, they're going to look great with your little black dress as well. JSNV79, Kathleen in Box, you've got yours. Thea, well done. Hilda, you've just joined me in Surrey. Tina in Hampshire, Linda in Devon, Paula in Lanarkshire, you're there as well. Congratulations to you. I mean, you could use these for Tree of Life designs as well, couldn't you? This one's big enough to pop a Tree of Life on.
Yeah, definitely.
That would look fabulous.
It would look
in a pendant.
Yeah.
Long drop in a pendant. How gorgeous would that look? How much do you reckon you'd sell that for, Laura? Just this one cabochon?
Just that one cabochon, you'd be able to get probably about 20, very basic minimum, probably about, with wire work, I mean, at its simplest, probably about 20, 25 as a base.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
You know, and all you need to do with that is cage it. Super simple. Really,
same kind of technique that you do.
You could net it. It would be really easy to net, and it would look really pretty. But then the other thing is you can cage it, where you just get your free wires and catch it around the edges. And that's super simple. You know, and again, like you say, copper wire or your silver wire, and you can set it in different ways as well. That's what I love about this.
Look at that, I love that. This one might be my favourite now that I've had a good amount of time to look at them.
This one, from my angle, looks like it's loaded with glitter.
Wow.
I know it's not glitter, it's like the copper effect, but it just, it looked from this angle like it was sparkling. Wow.
They are gorgeous, aren't they? All these different shapes are beautiful. Lots of you on the telephone lines, do press your number 1 button if you've got a phone in your hand. That will put you straight through to the call centre and you can confirm straight away and get these home. They are just, I'm going to get these. Can you write code down for me, Phil, please?
See, if you did, you've got the opportunity again there, look.
Yeah.
So you've got, and then a larger one, maybe say that one, to mimic, to do. To do similar this kind design. Of design. Imagine that kind of design.
Yeah.
How cool that would look.
Wow.
And again, you could set it just like this.
Yeah.
Or you can have it like where you get them hanging. Yeah. So if you did a hinge effect, so you could actually have it almost with the movement. I've done that before. Yeah. And again, on a long necklace, bit of chain, it's going to look really, really nice. And it's simple. Beautiful.
Look, pyrite in that one there. Woo! Loads of pyrite in there. Right. I've got a sterling silver chain coming up for you. Not long, but I'm going to let Laura carry on.
Okay, cool. So what I've done now is I've just netted this one in super quickly. Yeah. Now you would take a bit more time, and what will happen when you're netting is you'll see here there's a couple of, like this section here is really big, whereas these have all kind of gone a bit more consistent. Yeah. So that it will happen when you're starting out with netting. It just means you're finding your consistency. So practice on a little bit, get your consistency, and go to the main piece. You know, it's just about keeping an eye on your stitches. Right. And also, when you're doing them, what you want is the loops to be tight to the actual frame here. So if I put this back over the black, you'll see a bit clearer. So what you need to do is almost pull so that they stretch out, and then they'll sit nicely up against the frame. What you don't want is them looking like this. Okay, they look like that. They're baggy to the frame, but also you'll end up doing a load. And then if you do stretch them like this to get that consistency, you end up having to unpick them because obviously you've done too many. Yeah. All right, so just to be aware. Okay. So all I've done is I've done that, and that's the tail wire for this one. Yeah. I've taken a new piece of 0.4 and I've just done the same again. Now, if you want to, and you can, which I don't very often do, you can sometimes get the same amount on either side, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, so I'm one short on this side, but you know, I could balance that out. That will obviously for visual effect be there as well. So what I'm going to do now is pop my stone in. Now what I'm going to do is just to show you how I did the kind of spun effect. So if you look at the setting on that, it's not like a standard kind of netting, it's kind of like a spun effect really. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over to this one because I've got a gap, so exactly the same, and pull that a little bit closer. Okay, and I'm just going to control that. Now what I'm going to do is skip one and go to the next one. Bring it around. The biggest challenge with this piece really is when you start sort of bringing it all together, it's quite a lot of wire to handle.
Okay,
That's all the biggest challenge really is. So skip one, and then go to the next one. And you see how it looks changed on the front?
Yeah.
Okay, so you could, if you wanted to have it like that, there's no reason you don't have to.
Okay.
You don't have. You can play about with this. Could you do me a favour? Could you grab my cutters and just cut it? Probably around about, down a bit, down a bit. That's it.
There.
No, down towards you.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
There.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry. Right, and so skip one, go along. Now, when you've got ones with a point, that's absolutely fine. Just try to make sure that you're. So you can see there that it's mirroring the point.
Okay.
Or just have it going across the bottom. It looks nice as a feature as well. Skip one, go along. Okay. And then what I now can do is go to the ones that I've missed. So in this situation, I'm going to have to go back to here because actually I can come up through the frame.
Yeah.
So although there isn't a loop there, I can still come up through the frame and it'll look like there's a loop, see? So it's got that effect.
Yeah.
Now I can go back to the one that I missed here.
Okay.
And then to the one that I missed here. And it just, whoops, it just changes.
Yeah.
Can you see how it's changed the effect?
Yeah. I like
Give it
that.
that kind of, hang on, I'll turn it around for you. See that effect?
I love that.
So it's changed it from looking like that to looking like that.
Yeah.
Just a different look.
Yeah.
So you would just continue around. Now this is the situation where I might have to come across.
Right.
So if I do, make sure it looks pretty.
Yeah.
And just kind of come across. So just let it catch the bottom of it, let it do it if that's what it wants to do. Just work with the stones and work in the best way that you can. So if I just get to that bit, you carry on with that.
Okay. Fabulous. 925 sterling silver chain for you. This is 3 metres as well. I'm just going to borrow those. That'll save me untwisting these. 3 metre length. That is a lot of 925 sterling silver. And 925 will add value to any of your jewellery as well. So it doesn't matter what you're making. You know, if you whacked one of these beautiful cabochons and then popped it on a long length of chain, you know, that's going to add some value for you there. The size of the links on these is fantastic as well. So it means that if you've got any of your head pins and you want to perhaps, you know, wire wrap some gemstone charms onto these, you could do that very, very easily. You know, you could use some thicker gauges of wire as well to get through there. No problem at all. You could sell this by the inch. So if you just wanted to have the 3 metre reel on your craft stall and say to perhaps your customer, you know, what length would you prefer? Would you like it at a 16-inch length? Or would you prefer something, you know, longer at the kind of your 30-inch chain? I like those long lengths, I do. I think they look fabulous, especially with cabochons like this. And if I just actually hold one of these labradorites, look how well that goes with the silver. You know, if you just wire wrap that and then had that on a long drop in some chain, it would look really, really pretty. Silver is the most lustrous of all of your precious metals. So even if you don't have any gemstones at all, and you just tuck, which I would do with this, I would just take a really, really big length of that and just have that layered up look. It's gorgeous when you do that. I mean, it's quite greedy, quite lavish, but you know, hey ho. Look at that. You can see it from there. It looks so, so pretty. And all you would have to do is simply add a jump ring and then some kind of fastening, like your bolt ring fastening or your lobster claw fastening on there. That is just gorgeous. 0800 644 655. Now, with 3 metres, you could get 6 16-inch lengths for necklaces and 3 7-inch bracelets from that. £21.95 just for a 16-inch finished chain on the high street right now. Lowest price I found the other day when I looked was £19.99 for one 16-inch length. You could get 6 out of this and 3 7-inch bracelets if you wanted to. You could have it for anklets. You could use your chain for earrings. If you wanted to cut this and have earrings, it would look fabulous as well. That works out to just £7 something per metre. £7.33 for a metre of 925 sterling silver. That is just phenomenal. And in fact, our buying team went out to India a couple of weeks ago, just gave us the heads up as well that silver prices have gone up. So going forward, naturally we expect to see an increase here at Jewellery Maker because we'll be paying higher prices going forward. We're at £21.95. You've got 14 grams of 925 sterling silver. UFVV73 is your code for this one. That's fantastic value. Approximately 15 in baskets. Just need to be checked out. Julian Stafford says, hi ladies, lovely Loving the show. Can I ask Laura, is it possible to net a square cab?
Yeah, you could. The netting is the most versatile way of catching any shaped cabochon.
Yeah.
You may have to tweak it slightly, and that was going back to what I was saying about catching the corners. Can I borrow that little rectangle one? Rectangle square one. So sorry.
It's been a long morning.
I forgot it was you I was working with. So whereas on this one, so what you might want to do is you just try to get your loops to go across, or you could just have it going across the corners so that they actually catch the corners of each of the stones. And in a way it would be more beneficial because it means that you actually would only need to do sort of 2 rows because it would have been caught in the actual corners of the stone.
Every time. Every time.
Trying so hard to ignore you.
That is a rectangle shape, James. No, I'll just pop it right there.
Right, anyway, so yeah. But any problems, give me a shout. It's just a child. So, what I've gone on and carried on doing is, so these 2 ends of wires here are the tails to the netting of the first one and the netting of the second one. So if I place it like this, you can see how it can be a bit sort of overwhelming with all of the wires everywhere, okay? So I've left these here just so that I could show you how they finish before you carry on to the next step. So if this was me, I would get rid of this wire first before I go to net this stone, okay? So that you don't get too many wires and get confused. So all you have to do is just bring it around and just wrap it around the base wire here 3 times. Remove it, okay? Oops, there we go. So then when I got to this point, I now would, again, in that little gap, if I can just, I'll hold it up close for you to see, but obviously there's a little tiny gap in between the 2 stones, just sort of, if you see there, and you'll be able to feed the wire through, and again, it's just going to go through, and you would just wrap it around the base wire there, okay? So that gets rid of that one. I'm just going to cut it for now. And then what I did was I took, so straight away it's not looking so overwhelming anymore, as long as you sort of work with it. Okay, so I've taken another length of my 1mm wire, and I've just formed like a large V, okay? And that's then going to sit here and start to form the centre part, okay? This part here. So a little tail, again, just to attach to the base wire. And then what I'm doing, if I turn it over, I'll show you. Obviously, I'm doing this sort of quickly. But what I'm doing is taking this wire and I'm stitching the, where's it gone? The new wire to the frame wire of the stone. So I'm actually going right through and catching them both together. I would be if I didn't have the camera.
No pressure.
No pressure,
it's
no.
Like thousands of people are watching you right now.
Being professional as always. Okay. So obviously you wouldn't be trying to show a camera and it'd be a lot easier for you. So all I'm doing is just stitching both those wires together, okay? Once I've got it sort of secured, what I'm going to do is just get rid of, again, that little tail that we started off with. So you can see now why I say to get rid of these little tail wires as we go, because otherwise if you miss any of these you can have a sharp edge along the way, so just get rid of that. When you do that, just make sure you give it a little sort of crunch to make sure that edge isn't there. Once you've got that established, what you're then going to do is just start off with a little bit of weaving, so it's just the sort of the figure of 8 with an extra wrap, so it's just once and twice around the outer wire, and then feed the wire up and through the frame wire at the back of the stone. All right, so again, I'm using the frame at the back of the cabochon to sort of bring it all together. I'm only going to go once into that, so I'm almost just kind of hooking it. And then I'm going to go 1, and then 2, and then again, I'm just going to bring that wire up. So I'm just using that as a sort of anchor point, really. Okay, and then you're going to continue up with this, and around 1, 2. This is looking awfully messy because I'm trying to do this at a bad angle, but when you feel that the gap's widened out enough, what you can then do is start to feed in the labradorite wheels. So all you're going to do, sorry for the noise a bit. Now, with these labradorite wheels, they're graduated either end, which is brilliant. So what you do is, we're obviously going to, you kind of go from stage to stage. This is why I got a bit, wandered off and did something else, because it's a bit too strong.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm bored of this now, so wander off and come back. So what you need to do is, obviously you need to sort of use the smaller stones and graduate out into the larger part here, but then you need to do the same on this side.
Right, okay.
So you basically use one of the shorter ends for that side, and then use the other side for the other side, okay? So, you know, I'm just going to take this, use this, oops, and you just feed them on, and they go really nicely in. So you wrap twice.
Yeah.
So you go 1 and then 2, and then you've got the wire there, and then you pop the stone on. Now sometimes the wire can get really bent at the end, just where you've been feeding it through and stuff like that. So just give it a little cut if you need to. Try not to do it too often, because you will cut all your wire away. Pop it down, and then because the way that these are kind of cut, it sits. So again, what you'll notice I've done is I put the wire over, whereas I've been feeding it up from underneath. I did it over. And what that's going to do is just pull that into place, and then what I'm going to do, instead of going in between like this, I'm going to go all the way around and back over. And all that does is just give a bit of stability to the back of the stone. All right, that just goes across the back of the stone. And then you pick up, and what I did was now is every time I added a stone, every time I went across, but what I do now is wrap 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, add my stone, bring it back over, 1, 2, 3. As it widened out, and you'll see when you'll see when you need to do it, I started to put 6 wraps in between the stones, because the stones were naturally getting larger, so the gap needed to be a bit bigger.
Of course.
And that's all you do, and then you mirror it on each side. Now if you run out of wire, it's not a problem. Wrap it, and then just take your new wire and then just bring it back in and continue as you were doing. Just make sure you cut away any edges, and that's what you're going to do right up into that sort of section there. Okay. Now I'm not going to do the rest of it. I'm going to talk you through it very quickly. Do you want to do that first quickly?
Oh, so lovely, isn't she? Have a look at this. Oh, I love this strand. Do you know what? I haven't got this one yet. I think I need to get it. Look.
Wow,
look.
That's amazing.
Oh, isn't this would be a great addition to this kit. My goodness me, I've only got 35 chances. Look at the size of these gemstones. How is this not graded? Really? Wow, 168 carats of your labradorite, graduated faceted wheels there, 5x2 to 10x2 millimetres. Just have a look at how long that strand is, 33 centimetres. There has got to be at least 100 gemstones on that strand there. They are gorgeous. You can incorporate them into this design, no problem at all. Do you know, I'd be quite tempted just to literally re-strand those and have the most stunning necklace. You know, just a massive, massive statement piece. You know, hundreds of carats you're talking there, 168 carats in total. The blues coming off this strand are just phenomenal. And this is what I mean, this goes back to what I was saying earlier on about quality labradorite here at Jewellery Maker. Every single time we do it, and these are just stunning. Not seen this strand since March. How are we even that low? That's our should be price tag, but because you're tuning in and you're watching live today, we're going to take even more money off of that price tag for you. UGND95 is your code for this one. How would you have worked these into the design, Laura, do you think?
You could do it exactly the same. You could feed them in, but what I might have done is maybe just use them sort of across the centre part where there's the gap that widens out, obviously where the stones meet. I maybe would have put some of those in there just to break up the texture a little bit, or to actually have had it as a chain. Because that would, if you imagine that as a chain to that necklace, that would look amazing as well. It's just stunning.
Or you could rosary link in between these as well and have that as a chain, couldn't you? That would look phenomenal. £12.95 for you today. Phenomenal. In fact, I'm just going to count out 20 for you on the strand. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Wow. Yeah, I'm going with a good 100 gemstones on that strand there. The blues in this are phenomenal. You've got the blues, you've got the greens, you've got the golden hues there as well at just £12.95. You can add this to your order, add it to the kit if you want it to. No extra cost on your postage and packaging today. £2.95 from midnight last night right through up until midnight tonight. 100 pieces you could come in and get. It's great. Fantastic. Laura, we have about 3 minutes left.
No, it's fine.
Is that right?
I'm just going to explain quickly the rest. So once you've filled all of that in, obviously you go add more to the sort of wider parts. What I then did was I took some 0.8 wire, cut 2 lengths of wire off, and where the triangles sort of finish in effect, I've just wrapped it around a couple of times. There's 2 lengths, and I'm just going to kind of spiral, because what I wanted to do was break up the harsh kind of lines of it a little bit and give it a bit of soften it a little bit. And then I just sort of took this wire sort of around and just sort of played about. So obviously then you got to this point that would obviously have the cabochons in it, the labradorite wheels in it, and again mirror it round. Sorry, I'm just blind you. Just to swirl it round like this, and again just kind of have it here coming into the piece, and that you just decorate a bit there. These parts here are woven and then turned. So we cut this out of the way. So that, you know, just spiral it in however you want it to go. These are then woven, so you just do, again, 2 on either side, or you know, whatever number you want. And then you just turn, and you kind of almost fold it in like this. Can you see? And so that goes like that. I'll move the black quickly. I like this little blackboard. I think I stole it from you, but it's good, I like it. So obviously this is filled up. You just sort of encourage it to come in like this. And then you're going to, with this one here, continue coiling and just sort of stitch it here. And this one kind of, again, just comes up through a bit of the weaving. You do the same on the other side, and just, again, spiral it off to sort of decorate it. So if I can just show you the piece quickly. There we go. I'll explain, show you the back. So can you see? So when you see the back, you see what I mean. So the weaves have come across, the weaves have come across. You've just a little tiny spiral there, which has finished it. But then the second wire has continued, and it's just decorated with a spiral there. So it's just to give a bit of decoration. This is a standard plaited sort of torque. But as I got to the centre part, I actually kind of caught the wires into that part and then carried on. And that's pretty much it. If there's any questions, just give me a shout. It's quite a lot, obviously, to sort of do, but it's, you know, that I probably would have Viking knitted or something with it. You can do whatever you want, really.
Gorgeous, isn't it? Thank you so much for that, Laura. I'm going to squeeze in cheeky Start By. Silk wire bundled for you. I love these. They are fabulous. The texture is really, really beautiful. I would love to see some of your designs with this as well. I haven't seen any Wall of Fame entries using the silk wire yet, actually. And there may have been some, might have been that I wasn't watching at the time, but these are really, really fabulous. I'm looking at these straight away and I'm just thinking, do you know what? I think I would probably use these. Just take kind of 1 coil of the wire and just to add a little charm on there, really delicate charm. Bracelets like this are very much on trend at the moment, aren't they? Like your friendship bracelets and your Shambhala bracelets, those kind of things. That would be perfect for that. So what you've got is you've got that wire core within, and then you've got that silk on the outside as well. So you've got not just the texture as well, that beautiful texture, but you've got that fabulous, fabulous colour there as well. You have 10 metres of each, so you've got your black, your blue, your light blue, your magenta, your natural coloured, and your red coloured there as well. So you have 6 individual reels, 10 metres of each, so that is 60 metres of your super silk wire you've got there. They are fantastic. Laura, you could do all of your designs using these, surely, couldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. You know, a really lovely accent sort of wire.
Yeah.
I've seen Mark Smith use them for macrame.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they've got that lovely sort of fluidity to them. Yeah. And the coating means that you can sort of get that colour pop as well.
Yeah. It's fantastic, isn't it? Really, really great. We've not had this very long here at Jewellery Maker at all. Only launched very recently. £29.70. So if you came in and bought all 6 of these individually, that's the price you're paying. How about better than half price? How about if you have never used these before, this being a try before you buy kind of price? £9.95. That's not even £2 a reel, is it? Not even £2 each for you today. £9.95. We've just taken £20 off of that price tag. We only have 60 chances. £1.66 each for you today. I'll take the white one. I'll just take a length of the white one and hold that up so you can see it against my green top. But you could, that's all you'd have to do. You could literally just take, they're meant to be £5 each, Philip. Gosh. you could just literally take a length of that. You've got that structure there, so you can manipulate it the same that you would your wire as well, and you could just pop a pendant onto that if you wanted to. No problem at all. Take a 7-inch, 8-inch length if you wanted to, for a bracelet design as well, and just pop a little charm on there. Would it be? I mean, you could do something as simple as plaiting with this, couldn't you?
Yeah, with a lovely plaited, so it looks sort of little Celtic plait as well. Yeah. You could use your ribbon find ends.
Yeah, your ribbon ends.
The ribbon ends to sort of secure the ends together if you wanted to keep that sort of more delicate look for it as well. I've actually made, I did have a kit once with it, with some mesh, and I actually made some little sort of roses. So I had the pinky kind of colour. And you know, it does hold its shape, so I was able to sort of make quite a focal necklace, and it looked really quite delicate. It was really quite, I was quite surprised by it.
Oh, I'd love to see that. They'd look great, the pink ones as roses, wouldn't they? I just wanted to get a couple of colours to try and twist them together. If you've got your wire twisting tool, you could use that, obviously. It would do a much better job than my hands, but just so you can get an idea of those colours and how they're going to work together as well. That's an incredible, incredible deal. Lots of your multi-buying 2s and 3s there as well, so it could be the blue and the white together. You could use your other blue, and obviously depending on the gemstone as well, you know, you might like to incorporate them into your designs with different coloured gemstones, so you might use the red for some garnet maybe, you might use the black for, along with some black spinel, you could use the white with your black spinel, the blues for tanzanites and sapphires if you wanted to make really fun designs over the summer holidays, you know, just little wish bracelets. Just again, take a little length. I'll use the one that I've already got out. I'm making a right mess here. Just a little length like that. Pop a little charm on there. How pretty. Oh my gosh. It's going everywhere. There we go. Doesn't that look pretty? And you could kind of stack and rack them up, couldn't you? Different colours, and have little charms on there that you've made, or perhaps you've got some little charms in your findings packs already at home. That's incredible value. £20 back in your pocket. That's phenomenal. Coming up after the break, I've got chrome dioxide in a gemstone chain. Jackie in Shropshire says, Hannah, can you gizmo with the silk wire? Yeah, of course you can. No problem at all. Quite easily. Imagine how fabulous that would look as well. If you gizmo, you know, twisted some of the wires together, or use 2 of the wires, 2 different colours. Say the white. I love the white and the blue together. It's quite nautical, isn't it? So perhaps the white and the blue together. Gizmo those 2 together. Yeah. That would look fab, wouldn't it? Really, really.
Pink
fab.
and the white together. That would look really quite
like
summery.
That. Quite girly.
I know, I don't normally do pink.
Yeah, I like that. GWGC01 is your code for this. Now, coming up after the break, I've got the chrome dioxide gemstone chain. It is not to be missed. Don't forget, you want to own coming up in an hour. Half a metre of lavender opal going under £10. Yes, please. See you in a few minutes.
Sarah Elvin brings you her DVD, Friendship Bracelets. This fantastic DVD is filled with excellent techniques to create the perfect friendship bracelet. This includes the chevron style bracelet, the knitted style bracelet, and the crisscross bracelet. Friendships are forever, and so are bracelets. To get your hands on a copy of this fantastic DVD, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655. Get creative with Jewellery Maker. Owning a strand of genuine gemstones is always exciting, but being able to use it in your handcrafted jewellery, then passing it on to its new owner with proof of its authenticity is even more incredible. Why not add one of our printed authenticity cards to your order and share that same feeling with your customers? You can also access online authenticity certificates for items you have previously ordered by looking at your order history on your account details. The certificate gives you valuable information about your purchase and is your guarantee of quality and peace of mind from Jewellery Maker. Chrome dioxide, which as the name suggests, gets its vivid green colours from chromium. It's not a particularly well-known gemstone. Diopside, or sometimes known as Russian diopside, was first discovered in the early 1800s and derives its name from the Greek words dis and ops, meaning two-faced, in reference to the 2 ways of orientating the gem before cutting. Diopside is unusual in that it has perfect cleavage in 2 directions. To see more of this incredible gemstone, stay tuned to us.
Good afternoon, welcome back to Jewellery Maker. I've got so many treats coming up for you over the next hour. In fact, all day long, all day long. This is unique. This for me is a once in a lifetime opportunity. It's not very often we get to own things like this. It's not every day, is it? It doesn't happen every day. Just got a little clink, there we go. Now, gemstone chains, whichever ones we bring you, are really, really popular. This is kind of next level. I mean, we are talking really high. This is the kind of thing, and this is all but a jump ring and a clasp. This is, you know, all but finished. If this was in a boutique jeweller's, this design, I would expect this to be in 3 figures. You've got 20 carats of the most incredible chrome diopside. Now, this gemstone is a collector's gemstone. It's number 2 in my top 6 favourite gemstones. Always been up there. It has such a striking colour, and the clarity of this gemstone. If I just hold this strand out, just look at the clarity of these gemstones. Look at the saturation of colour that you have there. Can you believe that Mother Nature created that colour? No help from man, none whatsoever. Now, chrome diopside comes all the way from Siberia, over in Russia. Now, temperatures can reach as low as -45 degrees, which is pretty chilly, I think you'll agree. When it gets a little bit warmer, say to kind of -25, -20, we may be able to gain access to that mine. So the whole time when it's -45, I'm sure you can imagine, that ground is just frozen over solid. The mine looks like Planet Hoth. There it is, right there. Frozen over completely. 10 months of the year. So July and August, potentially. So bearing in mind that's just 2 months out of the year that we may be able to gain access to that mine. And that is a very big if as well. Then, if we do manage to get into the mine, you've got to be able to find some chrome diopside. You've got to be able to find chrome diopside that is of gemstone quality as well. When you whittle that all down, this gemstone is so rare. And that is why it can command premium prices. Oh yeah, you can be looking at high 3 figures, you can be looking into 4 figures in designs, in jewellery. If you type it into a search engine, you'll be lucky to find it. But if you do find it, I bet it's kind of your boutique, you know, your specialist jewellers bring you this kind of gemstone at those kind of prices. We are talking 20 carats. Now, if you just think for a minute, how long would it take you to make all of those rosary links, all of those wrapped loops that you've got there, ½ metre, a couple of hours, do you think? Yeah, I think so, easily for me. But also, I mean, it says 50 centimetres. So it says 50 centimetres on your screen, but when you think about all of those wraps with the wire there, you're probably looking at approximately 1 metre of 925 solid sterling silver wire that has been used in this design. So the wire, actually a lot more. You've got your 925 sterling silver there, which, you know, we're always saying to you, that's going to add value to your designs, and 20 carats of chromed upside. So thinking about that, thinking about how rare this is, I mean, I've never seen the chromed upside gemstone strand before, actually. I would expect this to be the kind of, you know, how we have our really high-end strands, you know, I would expect this to be kind of $69.95, $49.95. This is chrome diopside that we are talking here. The clarity for a natural gemstone, phenomenal. Do you know, I would totally keep this for myself. In fact, I'd just multi-buy. And actually, I'd keep one for myself. In fact, I'd keep two for myself. Yeah, I'd have the necklace, and then I'd have the bracelet and the anklet as well. Oh, yes, that's what I'd do. You could have, add a jump ring and a clasp. So you could have the necklace. And I'm going to hold this. Just watch my microphone there. Right, so that is end to end. So that's the length that you will get from a 50 centimetre chain, which is approximately 19 3/4 inches, okay? So that's the length there. But you could, if you wanted, if you want to multi-buy, you know, you could, if you're brave enough, you could cut that, couldn't you? And then you could have anklets and bracelets with that as well, if you wanted to. Mandy in Liverpool says, oh my word. Turn the telly on just at the right time to get 3 of these. Do you know, Mandy, go for it. And this is the thing, think about how often you have seen this particular gemstone chain. How often have you seen chromed upside gemstone chain before? I've never seen it. We're at £14.95. So just forget for a minute that it's 20 carats of chromed upside. Forget about the metre long length of 925 sterling silver there or thereabouts that's been used to make this. Think about the time that it's taken just for somebody to make all of those rosary links. £14.95 for hours of work. Then we'll add in the gemstone, 20 carats of chromed upside. Then we'll add in the 925 sterling silver. This price is wrong. All day, every day, any day of the week. And well done, Collect It in West Yorkshire. You've got 2. Linda in Lancashire, Rosalind in Tyne and Weir, Susan in Swansea's got 2. Mandy in Liverpool's got 3. Valerie in Surrey, Janet in Suffolk, Amina in Greater London, you've got 2. Caroline in Cambridgeshire, you're there. Rachel in New York, you're there. Congratulations. WA. UD 61 is your code for this. Do you know what? Get your certificate of authenticity. Worth every single penny. 25 pence if you add it to your order, or you can print it off at the web free of charge as well. £14.95 for chromed upside and 925 sterling silver. That is a giveaway price tag for you today. 30-day money back guarantee. No way, none of these are coming back, I tell you. Whew. Gorgeous. Now, can I just quickly show you your one to own today, never been seen before, half a metre of lavender opal. I was at £29.95 when we played Guess the Price Tag game earlier on. And then in the office, it went from that up to about £45, I think. Producer Phil. Under £10. We are just 50 minutes away. 50 minutes. Ethiopian opal. Have a look. 16 carats. This will work very well with the lavender opal that we've just had as well. This is collectors. 16 carats of your Ethiopian opal. Wow, look at those reds coming through down there. Woo! See, it's all about the angle again. Light plays a very, very important part with this gemstone in the way that it catches the gemstone. Gosh, there's some gorgeous reds and oranges coming out the bottom there. You have 16 carats of your Ethiopian opal. You're graduated, plain rondelles, 2x1 to 5x2 millimetres in size, and that is a 14 centimetre strand. So it could be that you use those, work them into your design with the lavender opal as well. You know, mixing up your opals if you've got the blues, if you've got the greens, perhaps. Really, really rare. VC IK73 is your code for this one. 0800 644 655, or on the web this afternoon at JewelleryMaker.com. Again, well worth getting your certificate of authenticity with this one. WC IK73. Well done to loads of you already checking out. Webbers can see the price tag. I can't. Telephone bidders can't. If you trust me, just come in and get it as soon as you possibly can. $19.95, I'm being told, is what you're seeing on the website right now. Do you know what? If you've already checked out, don't worry, because nobody pays any more than anybody else. You will all only ever pay that final low closing price tag. Today, it is not £19.95. I can tell you that. £12.95. So we've just put £7 back in your pocket for you. Are you a spender or are you a saver? Are you going to spend that £7 on something else? Maybe you can put it towards your opal strand later on. Maybe, or something else. Maybe the next kit. Oh, you should see the next kit as well. You're gonna love that one. £12.95. WC IK73. Collect it in Sussex. You've just got yours. Collect it in Bedfordshire. You've got 2. Heather, well done. Sandra, Anne, you've just joined me. Zara in Gloucestershire. Congratulations. You've got yours as well. Just popping little spacer beads in between this. You know, if you've got any of the seed beads that we had over the weekend, last weekend, they would look great. You know, just making these go that little bit further, or perhaps rosary linking, very similar to that of the gemstone chain that we've just had. You could work those into a similar design whereby you rosary link them and you do all of your wrap loops, and that would make it go really far. And you could make a beautiful long chain with those if you wanted to. Susie on the Scottish borders, you've got yours. Tatiana in Greater London. Judith in Cornwall's in, congratulations to you. Do remember, 1 P&P in any one day. So for all of you that are coming in, pretty much every auction, I've seen so many names coming in time after time after time, you've only got 1 postage and packaging today. If you do want to upgrade that postage and packaging, you can. £4.95, and that means you will get your components that little bit quicker. 2 to 3 working days if you upgrade to premium as well. Well done. Susie, Sarah, you've just got yours in Yorkshire. Congratulations to you. Catherine, you've just joined me. Tina, Gail, well done. Wendy, you've got yours as well. Hold those telephone lines. If you have a phone in your hand right now, just make sure that you stay exactly where you are. Keep your phone in your hand and you will be successful. How do you fancy 100, 200, 300? It's like play your cards right. Higher, higher. 400. Wow. Oh my gosh, what a stash this is. 400 featherweight headpins, gold dust. That's what we're looking at. My goodness me. Do you know, when we see featherweight headpins, usually we might be looking at a findings pack, for example, and you may get 20, 50 maybe at a push in a findings pack. There's 400 here for you. Now, featherweight headpins, great for those gemstones that have smaller drill holes. So perhaps, you know, your gems of distinction strands, your microfaceted gemstones. It could be pearls with a smaller drill hole on that you need to use these for. These, 400 of them. Wow. Just to point out, on the web, you are seeing a picture of 2 reels of wire. You're getting 400 headpins. You would definitely get 400 headpins. There is a lot of them. So say if you want to make some beautiful bubble bracelets and necklaces and things like that, if you've got some chain with smaller links on them, sometimes you need your featherweight headpins for those to be able to attach your gemstones to. 400. I mean, they're going to last you, aren't they, Laura?
Yeah, definitely. Like you say, there's always those odd gemstones that won't go on the thicker wires or the thicker head pins. They're brilliant if you want to do brilliant wraps as well, because you can treat them like a wire basically, and they add lovely little accents into your wire work. So you get that because of the little ball on the end. You can have that as a feature within your wire work piece as well. So you can treat it almost like an actual sort of piece of wire.
Wow, that'd look gorgeous, wouldn't it? 400. Can I just say as well, it says 100 on screen, but there are actually 4 packs. There's 4 packs here, so you will get... Look at that stash, my goodness me. And they are rose gold plated. So you have actual rose gold there. You've got your copper, which is going to give you that great strength and structure, but then you've got rose gold plated, so you've got the look of rose gold. Oh, my goodness me. I mean, what does that work out to per component? Because it's not even a penny, is it? 1.7 pence, just over a penny. jewellery making, it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to cost the earth, this hobby, and that's what we all love about it as well. You know, sometimes you can start getting involved in hobbies first time round, like those magazines that come out monthly and you have to buy it every month to get different bits to make something or something like that. First magazine, brilliant, 99p. Everyone thereafter, £6 or something like that. It's ridiculous, isn't it? But this is affordable, you know, it really, really is. And it is an essential part of your stash at home, you know, for every gemstone that you come across, as Laura was saying, where perhaps that drill hole is that little bit smaller, you can't quite get your head pin or your wire through and you just need your featherweight head pins. Great to always have your stash topped up. And you know, with 400 of these, that is just phenomenal, isn't it? Sophie in Hertfordshire, Sandra collected in Cornwall, Hilda, well done to you, Lee and Cardiff. But you know what, I've got so many multi-buyers as well. You will need to move quickly on this one. So if you sat there and you're just thinking, oh, shall I, shan't I, do it. It's £6.95. One postage and packaging for you of £2.95 standard. You've got your 30-day money-back guarantee. If you get these home and you think, no, I won't do it. But rather than miss out and kick yourself in 5 minutes' time, just check them out as soon as you can, and then you've got that 30-day money-back guarantee to fall against if you need to. COGC93 is your code for this one. I think rose gold as well and your copper. It's got to be one of the most popular colours of this season, hasn't it? I mean, it's so. When you look at jewellery, designer jewellery, it's even in gents' pieces.
Yeah,
it's there.
It's a unisex colour.
Yeah.
It's very. To me, it's very warm. It's very complimentary. Yeah. It's, you know, it's going to complement anybody, any skin tone, any. It's just beautiful. It would go on those labradorite rondelles, and you could make some cufflinks.
Oh yeah.
So you know, if the drill hole was finer on those, then you could put them through and connect it. You could do double ones. Yeah. One either side with a jump ring in the middle, and you've got a lovely pair of cufflinks, which could be brilliant, sort of unisex.
Yeah, definitely. That would look fabulous, wouldn't they? And you know what? This is a colour that goes with any gemstone as well, as Laura knows. But it does, doesn't it? It's one of those that brings warmth to gemstones. It's a fabulous choice, and it's a lot of people's go-to as well. It's Laura's go-to. Copper is Laura's go-to, but it's actually the presence of copper that is added to gold to give you that rose gold hue within your rose gold. Well done if you've managed to get these. Angela in Hampshire, Mary in Mayo. Where's Mayo? Is that Ireland? Yeah, it says Mayo. Mayo. It says it in big shouty capitals. That's why I did that as well. £6.95. That is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Right, let's put all of those back. Let's just show you what's coming up in 40 minutes' time. Half a metre, you cannot go anywhere. If you've got a school run today, download the app. Or just leave them for an extra 10, 15 minutes. Make them wait. Teacher won't kick them out. 50 centimetre. In fact, this particular strand is 53 centimetres. So half a metre of lavender opal. You've seen these strands before. They have been on and gone. The very first kit I ever had with lavender opal in, it was gone in less than a minute. A 3-figure quantity. Collector's gems. I don't know how we're managing to do it, but we are. It's your one to own today. Morganite for you. Who doesn't love morganite? In fact, I'm going to bring back a bunch of head pins for you. Going back to rose gold, I mean, this colour complements this gemstone beautifully. Look at that. Oh, that's my go-to for morganite, actually, without a doubt. It's just stunning, isn't it? Now, morganite is one of those gemstones that is very considered. It always commands high prices when you look at anywhere else, you know. I'm talking, you know, big designers using this gemstone, so kind of like Monica Vinader, Alex Monroe, Ashley Clark, using rose quartz. So if you type in rose quartz, listen to me, morganite, I beg your pardon. If you type in morganite on a search engine, you will probably find loads of designers. Whether you find any actual pieces on their website is another thing. Now, we've been struggling to get morganite of late. Prices have risen for this gemstone as well. So I thought, well, I'm going to do some research and I'll go onto those designer websites, those designers that I know use morganite, and just see if I can do some, you know, kind of price comparisons, research, that kind of thing. I typed it into a search engine, so I came across these designers, went onto their websites, and there generally is a search bar on every jewellery website that you go onto. So I just typed in morganite. 2 different websites I did this on, and it said, no results found. And you know, that made me think, wow, they actually don't have any morganite. If they've not got morganite, people really, really are struggling to get it at the moment. Just about to say prices have risen. Well, they have elsewhere, but not here at Jewellery Maker. 65 carats. 65 carats of morganite, and check out the colour. As pink as you like, exactly the way that Mother Nature intended, completely natural. Do you know, when you close your eyes and you think of the colour of morganite, that's better, isn't it? That is better. Last 3 chances, fastest fingers first, with £9.95. XBRU15 is your code for this one. 0800 644 655. Webbers get checking out. Angela, Hannah, Karen, Parvinder. I'm not sure who's going to do it. We've only got 2 chances left. Caroline's just joined me as well. Tina's just joined me. Lillian's just joined me. Oh, brilliant. Right. In fact, that would go with the lavender opal. I love these. Let's go to the beach. Look at they are though. Do you know, I think for me, that's all I would do with these. Simply restrand them. That would be my beach wear. Love, love, love these. White freshwater culture Keshi pearls you've got here. And they're your discs, 10 by 1.5 to 16 by 3.5 millimetres in size. Now, whenever we have kind of strands like this, I love it because you can see, I mean, you look at the strand and you can see that we've absolutely packed that strand full of gemstones. I mean, look at how many there are. In fact, if I just count out 20 for you, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So we're looking at a good 100 easily on this strand. So that's just 20 there. And look at everything else you have left. There are just so many. But do you know what I love about this shape in a gemstone? Is that if you use it flat side on, so if I just try my best, because we have actually packed them onto this strand so much so that there's no gaps in there. If I just pull those out a little, can you see that if you use those flat side on in designs, they will go so far. So far. I mean, you can imagine these being used in bouquets, can't you? So kind of bridal bouquets, they would be perfect for that. Look at that, they do look like little flowers, don't they? Pearl flowers you've got there, they're beautiful. You've got so much silky like luster, exactly what you should be seeing from a genuine pearl. And they're natural. The organicness to this shape is fantastic. So it could be bracelets for the bridesmaids perhaps, and then you could use some of those flat side on in tiaras, in hair combs, fascinators, corsages, anything like that. That would be perfect for. OT GP 84, £29.09. Look at that. Do you know what I love about this one? It says white on your screen, but there's so many silvers. A real gorgeous silvery hue. I'm just going to try and find some more, see if I can pull some more out and just find a little gap on the strand there for you, because they are all different, are very, very unique and individual. £29.95. If there's an average of 100 gemstones on your strand, I think you're looking at, I can't do the maths. I tried. 0800 644 655. What would you do with this shape, Laura, do you think?
Well, when you see it like that, it does make you think of like little ruffles. Do you know what I mean? Like when you get the material and the fabric.
Like ruched satin.
That kind of effect. So you can make some really mixed media with it as well and have that sort of added detail. But I love it as it is, to be honest with you. I'd love the thought of maybe putting a few little gemstones in between and breaking it up. But I love the fact that you can see all those kind of angles. Yeah. I'd have it as a stretchy, you know, a couple stacked on some earrings, a couple in the centre of a necklace, and have that as a suite. Yeah. You, like you say, you're going on a holiday, but it would be something that you could wear with everything. Yeah, and still feel like you're wearing something extra special. I've just
pulled this one right out there as well. Just had a good look at that one. Can you see how that one's kind of, it's almost curved in like a petal, isn't it? You've almost got that shape and that texture there already. You could nestle a little gemstone on a head pin, couldn't you? Just in the centre, almost like the mollusk holding a tiny pearl, if you like. If you've got any of your smaller pearls now, that would look so, so pretty. 0800 644 655 OT GP 84 is your code for this one. Make sure you are checking out as soon as you can. I've got such a sneaky treat for you. Haven't opened up your orders yet? You're about to do it now. Star by. They are so pretty. Now, we weren't actually supposed to have these today. No. Phil and I had a glimpse of them, and we could see that Sam, our scheduler, was doing his best to try and talk us out of having them. We were like, no, we want those. Thank you very much. These are gorgeous, really beautiful. It does say they want to own on your graphics. I tell you what, we had a lot of decisions to make today. We've got so many beautiful strands that we couldn't quite make our mind up. So this one originally, this was going to be it. But then we changed our minds and thought, you know what, it's going to be the lavender opal. Lavender opal, we've got more of those. We'll give you the lavender opal as you want to own today. Now, the reason I wanted this strand today is because I looked at it and I thought, you know what, this is perfect, isn't it? For wish bracelets, that kind of thing. That's what I'm seeing, charms and wish bracelets. Now, children in the Midlands break up tomorrow. And the summer holidays is upon us. That is it. For 6 weeks, we've had the most glorious week of weather. I guarantee that from Monday it will rain for 6 weeks. You just know it's going to happen, don't you? You know, all of those occasions that you try and think, right, we'll get out, we'll go to the park, we'll have a picnic, you know, we'll do all of these things, you know, because obviously it's very expensive to keep doing things and keep your kids occupied over some holidays. So you have all these plans of the great outdoors, and then it rains. So what do? You're stuck inside, but you've got to keep the children busy. Jewellery making is such a great idea, great way of getting the kids involved into your hobby as well. Now, something like this I think would be perfect, you know, if you've got daughters or sons at home sat there, maybe they've got lots of birthday parties to go to over the summer holidays as well. And as we all know, as parents, buying presents for all of these parties, it can be very expensive. Make some wish bracelets, you know, have a look at what you've got in your stash at home. Make some wish bracelets. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw these. I thought, right, that'd be perfect. You've got a gorgeous, very girly, I think, gemstone here. You've got that beautiful floral design. You've got that incredible luster and shimmer from your shells there. And actually, just one of those for me. In fact, you know the silk wire? I'm wondering if the silk wire would go through the drill holes on these. I think it was 0.5, wasn't it? I can't be 100% sure, but you could have a go if you got that home, or any threading material. So wish bracelets, all you need to do is take one of those gemstones, use any of your threading materials that you've got at home, so you can pick any colour, it could depend on the person that you're making it for, just thread it on. You can even make it as simple as just tying a knot in that bracelet, and it looks fabulous. You could pop these onto head pins and have them as key rings, keyring charms, bracelet charms. You could add them as pendants onto necklaces, handbags, and absolutely anything and everything will work with these. But that's the first thing I thought of when I saw this strand. I thought, you know what, that would be perfect for making wish bracelets with the kids over the summer holidays. There are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, approximately 35 gemstones you have on that strand there. 35 wish bracelets. Let's say you just sold them, if you did a craft stall in the summer and you sold them at £1 each. £35 potential just in that strand for you. And that's, you know, if you're somebody that wants to pass your deals on, that's brilliant, isn't it? 11mm in size in these gemstones, and we are going to bring you not just an add it to your order price tag, but an open up your order price tag for you this afternoon. £4.95 with this colour as well. These will work with everything and anything that you've got in your stash. Absolutely anything. In fact, the lavender opal that I've got coming up for you, look at these together. Look at that for girly. How beautiful does that look? They are stunning, aren't they? IJ, GP67 is your code for these. 0800 644 655. Loads and loads of you coming in. Mo in Cheshire, you've got 2. Mary in Hertfordshire's got 2. Barbara in Gloucestershire's got 2. Alison in Hampshire's got 2. Paula in Cambridgeshire. Janetta, Sarah, Weldon in Yorkshire. Karen in Derbyshire, you're there. In fact, one of these is a ring. You could, very simply, in fact, Laura, I would imagine that because you've kind of got these petal shapes, if you like, that you'd be able to anchor your wire quite well.
Yeah, definitely.
On a shape like that.
You could use some coloured wire and really sort of put some sort of pattern over it if you wanted, like sort of go from point to point and create almost like a little star in the middle.
Yeah.
But you saying about selling them for £1 each, I mean, I've done kids school fair, you know, just with the kids at my guy's school, and just sat there with some wire, and I just had a big box, and it was just filled with all my random one-off beads, and it was £1 a ring, and they chose one stone So, you know, you could have them for the girls and have something else for the boys and just say it's a powder ring. And like you say, it's a tiny bit of wire. Make to order. It took me 5 minutes and it was so popular. And then you get the parents over.
Of course,
and then I had a tiny little section for the older, you know, the adults that they might want to be interested in. But it was more sort of for something like that. It's fun. I'm thinking of like hair slides.
Oh, that would be pretty. You could literally just wire these onto like a bobby
like
pin.
a curvy grip.
Couldn't you? Yeah.
You literally just a little bit of wire, just wrap it onto the top, and you know you've got a really pretty couple of those. I know my daughter would love something like that. Any girl's going to love it, you know. So I think it's going to be great.
Definitely, that would be really, really popular. And because of the size of the gemstone, the shape of the gemstone, you know, you could use them just by themselves. Or you could pop those into a stretcher if you wanted to. Barbara in Gloucestershire says they work well with the coloured shell squares and the odd shell pearls as well. Granddaughters loved them and friends now want them. You see, there you go. Sarah in Yorkshire says Jewellery Maker has the best shell. It's amazing quality and I've never had it as high quality. And at such amazing prices. I know, there you go. £4.95. I tell you what, where's that trumpet? 0800 644 655. The lustre from these is just beautiful. I mean, you could have these, again, bridal because you've got that colour there. As well, glass charms. I always think glass charms with this kind of shape as well, just making little wire work glass charms. Really easy to do, looks really, really pretty. Approximately 35 there. Depending on the size of the wedding, you know, can I get a couple of strands of these and have them on the glasses? It looks so pretty, won't it? ID JP67 is your code for those. For those of you that have them in your basket, it's all about confirmation. You must make sure that you're checking out as soon as you possibly can for those. Have them home in just a couple of days' time. Let me know what you do with yours. Gorgeous. Not just one of your big five, not just two, but three in one strand. Look at the colour of these emeralds. Wow. Ruby, emerald and sapphire you have here. Whoa. My goodness me. Now, I've had, and I do get this because perhaps you're tuning in to Jewellery Maker for the first time, or perhaps, you know, as jewellery makers, you've got friends and family that always kind of question it. And that's happened for me a lot in the past when I've said to friends, oh, you know, obviously they know what I do. Don't watch, how rude. But then, you know, I will say, well, you know, well, we can do kind of 21 carats of ruby, emerald and sapphire for under £100. I bet you can't. Well, yeah, we can. That's what we do. That's what we do. Is it rubbish? Is it fake? I bet it's not real. No, it is. It is. It's the real, you know, it is the genuine, it's the real thing. It's the real thing. Yeah, but is the colour rubbish? I mean, does it look like something off a car park? No. No. It's really, really high quality. And, do you know, I get that. I totally, totally get it. Because if you go, let's say you know you love jewellery, but perhaps you're the kind of person that just goes and buys finished jewellery. So, you know, your high street jewellers, your boutique jewellers, to get ruby, emerald and sapphire into your collection, it's going to cost you a lot of money. You know, that's not, you know, you can't kind of, you know, just part with £20, £30 for ruby, emerald, sapphire. You know, you could be talking well into 3 figures. To be able to get all three and this kind of carat weight is just phenomenal. Now, each of those gemstones within that strand are completely natural. 3 of your big 5. Do you know, I have this debate quite often with guest designer Mark Smith here at Jewellery Maker because he is somebody that likes to pass on his deals. And I think sometimes you can be a bit too conservative. So much so that people doubt the authenticity, just like my friends and family have in the past, you know. 21 carats at these kind of prices, nah, it's not real. Not real. But it is. So get your certificate of authenticity, especially if you are somebody that likes to pass on your deals. So let's say, for example, you have channel set, I don't know, 4 or 5 of those rubies into a 925 sterling silver ring design. And let's say, so me, 4 or 5 of those gemstones in 925 sterling silver in a ring, I would be looking at a minimum of £30. But let's say that for you personally, you think that's a bit too much and you're thinking, no, I don't know, I'd probably sell that at £10. If I picked up a 925 sterling silver ring and it had a label on it saying genuine ruby at £10, I would question its authenticity. I would. That's just me, having worked in the gemstone industry for many, many years and understanding the worth and knowing how much these gemstones can command. So I personally would doubt that. If you've got your certificate of authenticity card there, you can just show me and say, look, this is where I got it from. Here's my certificate of authenticity. That is genuine ruby. The reason I've only got a £10 price tag on that is because I paid a low price for it myself. I'm still making money at £10, but I just want to show you that. I'm multi-buy. Multi-buy. And you might want to do that with this strand, I've got to be honest with you. £9.95. I mean, this is, let's face it, £29.95 all day, every day. 3 of your big 5, 21 carats. The emerald, look how vibrant it is in its hue. You know, you've got textbook emeralds there. Look at the sapphires. Look at the rubies, how rich and sumptuous that colour is. And we're at £9.95. If you are somebody that perhaps thought you would never ever be able to get such precious gemstones, I mean, we are talking 3 of the most precious gemstones on the planet. We're talking about gemstones that feature in the crown jewels. I know. And you've got 21 carats, 2x1 to 3x2 millimetres in size at just £9.95 for you today. You could just take your ruby, couldn't you? Have those, make those into earrings if you wanted to. You could just take the emerald and put that into a bracelet if you want some 925 chain perhaps, and have some fine 925 chain across the wrist, section of emerald in the middle. Job done. £25, £30, entirely up to you. Tatiana in Greater London, clever buy-in, ×2. Karen in Cheshire, Lady Anthea. You've got yours. Patricia in Bristol's got 2. Well done to you. Get dialing now. Get your authenticity card. Get dialing now if you're tuning in for the first time. This could be the only strand you ever come in for. Make your family heirloom piece of jewellery and pass that down through generations. I mean, is that not the lowest price ruby emerald sapphire strand we've ever had here at Jewellery Maker? We're not even in double figures for you today. £9.95. If you are a wirer, can you imagine just weaving these into designs, you know, because they're so delicate and so colourful. They'd complement any gems. I mean, if you've got sapphire cabochons, can you imagine how fabulous that would look? Look exquisite. Do you know, it's very easy, I think, here at Jewellery Maker to forget about getting pieces valued, but we are dealing with 3 of the world's most precious gemstones here. I'm sure you agree that the quality is incredible. That's why you're coming in. That's why you're multi-buying as well. Go and get your pieces valued. It's so easy to forget, isn't it, when you're just paying £9.95. But by the time you've used your solid gold, it could be, or your gold-plated 925, by the time you've made that design, I wouldn't use anything less than 925. But by the time you've made that, you know, with your 925, you will have added value to that anyway. But just think of the valuations that you could be getting back. I don't think any of you will be disappointed at all. You can do that within your 30-day money-back guarantee as well if you want to. £9.95, unbelievable. I tell you. Oh, can I just show you something quickly with that strand? The 6mm pearls. How about you just use ruby, emerald and sapphire as spacers? Imagine. How high-end does that look? Still about 40 of those in baskets, by the way. You do need to check out as soon as you can. These are 6mm rounds, that combination there. Can you imagine the valuation of something like that, Laura?
I would literally use all of them as well with the pearls, so you can say that's what it is. And I think that'd be quite fun, because it gives a bit of a more contemporary look to a classic design.
Yeah, definitely. Right, we are just 20 minutes away, there or thereabouts, from ½ metre biggest strand I've ever seen of lavender opal. And it's going under £10. I have no idea. No idea. Gorgeous. Right, pencil charms. No. I don't have them. No, definitely don't have them. I've got these. Let me show you these. Pyrite cabochons. These are coming up for you a little bit later on. Whoopsie. Durable. Very durable. Have a look. Have a look at these. Wow. Aren't these gorgeous? Firm favourite of our producer Phil, and we're going to give these to our Laura Lou as a challenge a little bit later on. Brand new pyrite cabochons. They are gorgeous. I'm thinking they're great for the gents pieces actually. Really, really fabulous. Can't wait to see what Laura does with those. Those are coming up for you a little bit later on. Right, have a look at this. Gemstone chain for you, and this is a metre long length. Oh. Wow, look at the colour. Look at the colour of these. These have got to be Zambian, Phil, I'm guessing. I mean, just check out the colour of these amethysts. Now, going back to the chromed upside chain that we had earlier on, that was half a metre. This is a metre long length. Metre long length of 925 solid sterling silver chain. And they are Zambian. See, I knew it. I just knew it. There are many locations that bring us amethyst, that bring us this beautiful gemstone. However, as gemstone collectors and lovers of amethyst, there is one particular location that everybody wants to get their hands on, and that is Zambia. Zambian amethyst is said to be the epitome of amethyst. It is the finest we've ever seen, in our opinion. The colour is so striking, it's so deep, it is so amethyst that there is no room for improvement on this gemstone at all. Now, I remember, and this is going back some years ago now, over at Gemporia, when Zambian amethyst first hit the scene. Now, it was a very, very tiny, tiny parcel of Zambian amethyst that we were talking about. And I believe that there were only 18 different pieces of jewellery, and that was the whole parcel. That was the very first parcel that we ever laid our hands on. So, literally by appointment only, we went into the office to have a look at this Zambian amethyst, and we were all blown away, all completely blown away by it. The colour, just like nothing we have ever seen before. Now, I've just got to tell you that the majority of those pieces were all set into 18 karat gold. And that is the kind of precious metal that this gemstone deserves. It does demand it, doesn't it? It really, really does. Now, we have managed to set this into 925 sterling silver. You have, I mean, look at that. That's a metre long length. For me, that is the quality that we would set it into solid gold that you've got right there. And that's a metre. Oh, do you know what? I've got to do it. I've just got to do it. I've got to hold this up against my top because I think the purple and the green will look incredible. Look at that. Oh, my gosh. How fabulous does that look? I mean, you've got a metre long length here. So let's just go back again. How long would it take you? Hours. £14.95. That's a metre long length. He knows. £14.95. I mean, that is wrong. Going back to the time thing, just the time alone that we've spent doing this for you, that price tag. How many of our guest designers sit there and say, yeah, I wouldn't even bother. I wouldn't even attempt it. Wouldn't even bother doing it. Not worth it. So many of our designers say that. And if you think the same, then just come in and get it. You've got a metre long. You could have necklaces. You could have hand adornments. You could have anklets with this if you wanted to. Bracelets, earrings, anything you like. That price tag for Zambian amethyst is phenomenal. And you've got 35 carats. Even if we were looking at 35 points, I'd say come in and get it. 35 carats is such a massive carat weight for you. It really, really is. I would multi-buy if your budget will allow you to today. Take advantage of that one postage and packaging. Deborah in Greater London, you have done just that. Well done to you. You've got two. Judith, Karen, Mary in the West Midlands, Sarah in Gloucestershire, Norma in London. Kathleen in Perth and Kinross, Kathleen in Essex, Sylvia in Derbyshire, Suzanne in Somerset, Sophie in Hertfordshire, well done. Collector in West Yorkshire, Rosalind in Lincolnshire, Judith in Inverness, well done. Gabrielle, Barbara, Jane in Greater Manchester, Josephine, well done, you've got yours as well. 0800 644 655. Get checking out, that's going to sell out very, very quickly. Right, I have the pencil charms now. Brilliant. Let's just pop that up there. These are gorgeous. Do you know, one of these on a bit of chain, that is all you would need to do. You don't just get one though, you get 3. Wow. Aren't these so pretty? Do you know what, these are something that's actually, £12.95. No messing, straight down on price for you there. £12.95. You have 25 carats of clear quartz in total there across all 3 gemstones. They have been faceted beautifully, and the clarity that you've got there is fantastic, isn't it? Really, really beautiful. Now, if you're just going to pop one of these onto a chain, maybe, you know, not much work at all, it's not going to take you very long to do, would you put kind of £15 price tag on per one? Well, I think that's quite fair, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. And actually, you've got 3 of them and they've cost you £12.95. That's just £4 something per component for you today. The clarity is phenomenal. Look at the way that they've been faceted and cut for you as well. So actually, just having these as charms, wow. Handbag, you know, it's not a handbag, but I've actually got a makeup bag. You know when the zip comes off, that little bit? That would be perfect for replacing it with, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Just tucking on and look at the genuine gemstone handbag charm or bag charm or something like that. How fabulous would that be? We're at just £12.95. Gold-plated copper you've got there as well. So you've got actual gold there. You've got the look of gold, the lustre of solid gold, but you haven't got the price tag. CAPP46 is your code for these. It could be a pair of earrings and a pendant, couldn't it? Or it could be 3 pendants. You could use some of these as bag charms if you wanted to. I'm going to get these. I'm definitely going to get these. I feel bag embellishments coming on. 0800 644 655 CAPP46. Lots of you there. Well done if you've managed to get them. Gorgeous. Portfolio bag. This for me is one of the most perfect size bags I think we have. Now you have, straight away I'm looking at that and I'm thinking excellent. You can put your tablet right in there, perfect size for a tablet, that pocket is right there. So you can get your tablet in there. Any of your little books as well, if you've got your designs in, you can pop your books in there, your keys, everything else that you need. And then round the back, you've got another really sizable pocket with a Velcro strip on there as well to secure that grab. And then, if I just open that up for you, we'll have a little look inside because there's lots in there as well. So you've got a big, big pocket there, huge pocket. So you can fit loads. You can put wire in there, you could fit gemstone strands in there, any of your tools in there. And then you've got in the middle these little compartments. So this one, you've got 6 pieces there. You've got another 3, 4, 5, 6 bigger pockets there. Another 6 there. And you've got another 4 at the back there as well. And this little section in the middle, you can actually take out if you want to. So you could take that out if you need to fit any bits in there, any bits and bobs, you can do that just by removing that and pop that back in. How many bags have you got, Laura? How many Jewellery Maker bags have you got? Lost count.
About 6 or 7, but I don't have that one. And I was thinking, because I've got so many tools,
Yeah.
I can't actually shut my little mini version anymore.
That's ridiculous.
So, that's just half of them. So I'm thinking that would become my new tool bag.
Yeah.
I know that sounds silly, but the things like I've got,
But you've got a lot of tools.
Yeah, but I've got things like the spiral maker in there as well, like little things like where you've got the pocket. So if you've got like the something that has sort of you know, littler tools, you could place them in there and you're not going to lose them. So
yeah, definitely.
Do you see what I mean? So yeah, I'd be thinking like wire twister tool, something like that. You could put all of that in a little pocket. So no, they'd be secure and just put your standard tools in it.
It's a great size as well. I think this one's a great size for carrying it around with you. You know, transporting around. You've got this handle on the top, adjustable strap if you like, so you can put that over the shoulder. You've got another little handle there, so you can carry that around. But just like I was saying, you know, with the pencil charms, because don't forget, this is, if you've got this on your shoulder and you're walking around at a craft fair, this is an advert for yourself. So you know, this is a potential for you you to advertise yourself. Put some of your work on here, you know, if you can. You could stick designs to that if you wanted to. You can attach charms, make wirework charms with this, cabochons, wire wrap cabochons. The charms, the pencil charms that I had earlier on would go on here quite well as well. Look, all you'd have to do is simply pop that on there. Pop that on there, that you could do that with any kind of bag. You've got a nice little charm on there now. Look, genuine gemstone charm, so you could pop one on there. You could wire wrap one of those, or just take a jump ring and pop that onto that part as well if you wanted to, onto the zip. No problem at all. But remember, you know, always remember, I think it's really great if you can kind of pop any of your designs on the outside of your bag as well. If you can have your logo displayed on there, whether you have perhaps done that on some kind of fabric and then you glue it on, or any which way you like. I think that's a fantastic idea. You can fit loads of bits in there. You can put your money in there, you can put your tablet in there, you can fit your designs in there. Lots of pieces that you want to take to that craft fair, or maybe you're just going over to a friend's, you know, at the weekend, Friday night, let's have a Jewellery Maker night in, bottle of wine, let's make some jewellery. Sounds good to me. GOZX30, £14.95. Any birthdays coming up? Thanks, Phil. I'm thinking gift ideas, you know. I bought my mum one of the, in fact it was the big craft bag that I bought my mum quite a few years ago for Mother's Day. I actually had it back. I ran out of space. I said, Mum, would you just mind? You know, if I just borrow it. She's actually never had it back. Jane in Somerset says, hi all at JM. That bag would be fab for putting projects in progress in. Great for my seed bead projects when I go on holiday, you see, as well. I mean, you could take tools, not so much in your hand luggage, but when you're going on the plane as well, if you can make any little bits of jewellery, you could take that on the plane, couldn't you? Fab little bag, lots of storage pockets, says Natalie in Surrey, who has previously bought this item. You can go on to FIFO at any time, and there's reviews for all of our products there as well. So you've probably found before that when you've bought anything from us here at Jewellery Maker, you do kind of get a follow-up email asking you to leave some feedback on FIFO. And Sheena in South Yorkshire says, the bag is great as I have a huge handbag, it fits inside, and it's full of jewellery I've made. When someone compliments me on the jewellery I'm wearing, abracadabra, I make a sale. Boom. You see, brilliant. Brilliant. 800 644 655. Get checking out as soon as you can for that one. 30-day money back guarantee. Set yourself a challenge. Get it home. See how much you can fit in there. See how much you can get in there. See how much of your stash you can fit in there. What you're going to be taking to your craft store. As Laura said, that could be a new tool bag that you could get in there. Brilliant. Brilliant. And do you know what I love about our bags? Is they are like Russian dolls. Yeah. You can fit them all inside each other, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, saying that, obviously I would put my tools in it, but I often put little bits of wire, or I'll put like some gemstones, and like you say, it's your emergency travel pack, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Love that. Little commutes on the train as well, you know. In the car, you're not driving though, somebody else is. If you're going on a long journey anyway, it's just perfect for that, isn't it? You know, it doesn't take up much space at all. It's not heavy unless you've got all of Laura's Binder's tools in there. GOZX30, well done if you managed to get that. Now, we're going to have a quick break. After the break, you need to prepare yourself for this. I just don't know what we're doing. We need to have a half-time huddle, I'm thinking. That is 50 centimetres. That is, in fact, that's 53 centimetres. Half a metre of lavender opal. Never ever seen it before. I said £29.95. Producer Phil said no. Under £10, actually. It's coming up for you after the break, so don't move a muscle, and we'll be back with you in just a sec.
Are you new to jewellery making? Not sure where to start? Then head over to our website and check out our Get Started page. Watch the welcome message from presenter Carol and find out all about Jewellery Maker. Watch one of our easy-to-follow tutorials where our guest designers will teach you the basics and give you the confidence to start making earrings, bracelets and necklaces. If you prefer to simply have a go, then check out our starter kits. They contain everything you need, including instructions, tools, gemstones and clasps, allowing you to create your very first jewellery pieces. You can either watch the video tutorial or follow the step-by-step instructions to give you plenty of inspiration. We also have an array of beginners workshops that you can attend here at our studios and join our experienced designers and get a taste for this fabulous hobby. We will guide you through the basics to get you started making your own beautiful jewellery. Everyone is welcome in the jewellery making family, so start your jewellery making journey today.
I think when I look back on it, I think I was brought up as a beader, not a jewellery maker, a beader. Because, you know, we always had my granny's button box and lace box, and, you know, you could go through her beads and put them all together, string them, you know. Jewellery maker is quality, and if you want the quality, that's who you've got to go to. I like your presenters and the certain ones. Yeah, and it's a shame it's so far, because I'd like to do loads more courses. But yeah, I will always be buying from Jewellery Maker. I am that sort of person with energy who likes to jump from medium to medium. Depending on what day of the week it is, depending on what I feel like. I find I work differently if I'm sitting in my workroom at the table than I do when I'm sitting with a tray in front of the television. But yeah, no, I would say to new people coming in, if you are looking at genuine gemstones, it's got to be Jewellery Maker. I would say look at the bundles, because I think you do some really good bundles. And press the button quick and buy them. You know, don't wait to think about it, because I think that's one of the big things, is if you wait, it's gone. You can always order, and what I usually do is I'll order, and I'll have other things in the back of my mind that I can add to that order to get you postage money's worth. Yeah. And if I don't like it, I can send it back. But I think that is the way to buy.
There are 4 easy ways to stay in touch with Jewellery Maker. You can like our Facebook page and join a community of over 54,000 people. You can follow us on Twitter and tweet us your messages and opinions, send photos of your designs and enter our Wall of Fame competition. Or if you need any help or advice, you can email our friendly help team. Make sure to get involved and stay up to date with Jewellery Maker. If you have a question or a query for Jewellery Maker, then you can contact our call centre on 0800 644 655 and press option 2, or alternatively you can email help@jewellerymaker.com. There are 2 easy ways you can purchase from Jewellery Maker. You can watch our show on Sky, Virgin, Freeview and FreeSat, and call our free phone number where you'll be put through to our friendly help team who can place your order. Alternatively, you can go to our website and click to register. Once you've filled in the required details, you can start shopping. You can watch the show by clicking on the Watch Live Show button on the homepage. You can also use our quick search tool and narrow down your results. Once you have found an item that you like, simply click on the Add to Basket button and you can continue shopping or check out right away. Don't forget, you can add as many items to your basket per day for only 1 P&P. Enjoy shopping with Jewellery Maker.
We have had so many text messages about this strand already. I've been showing you this for the last 2 hours. Now, every day here on the Mid Show, we have the one to own. This is exclusive to us here on the Mid Show. Nobody else is going to have this strand today. It is just for us. A huge opportunity to get yourself an incredible, incredible deal. Now this, we have the one to own every day. This is the best one so far. Oh my gosh, this opportunity is massive. This strand is massive. We are looking at a 50 centimetre strand. That is half a metre. And actually, I'm just going to check for you again, but I'm going gemstone to gemstone. This particular strand that I have here is 53 centimetres. Gemstone to gemstones. No tassels included there. They are with the strand, obviously. I just meant in the length. That is, I mean, half a centimetre, half a metre of lavender opal. I've never, ever seen a strand this long before. I mean, that is ridiculously long. There are so many gemstones on this strand. Now, I can remember launching lavender opal in a kit. And we had it come in, and do you know, 4 different checks I had done before we came on air, because I did not believe that this was completely natural. Bearing in mind I've been within the gemstone industry for 11 years, I'd never ever seen it before, and do you know what? I didn't even know it existed. I didn't even know that this existed. And that's why I was like, hang on, surely I'd have seen this before, surely. But actually I hadn't, because of the rarity of this gemstone. So I'd never ever seen it before. So I was like, well, hang on, can we just get some checks? So our manager in our office at the time, I was like, right, she said it's natural. I went, well, no, I don't think it is. Can you just check? Because I really don't want to go on air and say it's natural if it's not. So she checked one of our lab reports, confirmed natural. Can you just check the other one for me? Because I'm still not convinced. We checked everything that we possibly could. Came back completely natural. For the first time in 11 years, I'd seen this incredible, incredible gemstone that was just so strikingly beautiful in its colour. It was like, I mean, this is like a whole new variety of opal. Some of you may have your Mintabi jelly opal, your mosaic opal, your jack-eye blue opal, your boulder opal, your fire opal. There are so many varieties. That could be your entire stash. Your entire stash could be made up of just one gemstone. If you've got these, maybe you'd like to put them with purple opal. If you've got purple opal, the blues, can you imagine how well they would complement the blue opals? The green, the Peruvian greens and the Peruvian pinks, can you imagine? They would look fantastic. If you love amethyst, you love rose quartz, your morganite, I mean, this is for me such a girly, girly strand, but it is so collectors. Now, when we came in earlier on, we played Guess the Price Tag. We do this quite a lot. It's a great game. And I said £29.95 because I knew that Phil had got a trick up his sleeve. So for me, £29.95, that's a trick up your sleeve price tag, because this is a ½ metre strand that you have there. ½ metre. And they are beautiful, beautiful rounds. Now, normally we might see faceted rondelles, I think I've had in the lavender opal before. Plain rounds, I'm not so sure. 3 to 5 millimetres in size, the most beautiful, beautiful size, the delicateness, or delicacy if you like. Danielle Jessica, very regular viewer here, says, holy moly, that's an awesome price. Got my lavender opals, yay! Can't believe how many gems you're getting for the price. Funny you should mention that, Danielle Jessica. Shall I count them for you? I think I will. I think, do you know what? Put your feet up. Put your feet up. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Oh my gosh. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 40. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 60. Right. I'm about halfway through the strand. 60. Pretty much bang on halfway. 120 gemstones approximately. Wow. £29.95, £7.95 for you this afternoon. Is that not just ridiculous? I have absolutely no idea how we have managed to do that. And we will sit here at Jewellery Maker and say to you, you know, we have an incredible buying team. We have a great gem hunter that's been in more mines than we've had hot dinners. He's got great relationships with mine owners. So, you know, we can get these incredible deals. Still, after all that, I have no idea how we can bring you this kind of carat weight, 55 carats, of natural lavender opal at just £7.95. Now, there are approximately 50 in baskets right now, and there are so many of you multi-buying. You need to check out. You need to check out, because that quantity is falling very, very quickly. Now, we did pick this today because we had a higher quantity than the first strand that we picked, and because of the rarity of this strand. This price tag is wrong, Philip. £7.95. I mean, Laura, let's just say that you'd taken, I don't know, let's just say you used 4 or 5 in each ear in earrings, long drops in earrings, in kind of, you know, 925 sterling silver I'm going to go, because I wouldn't compromise, would you?
No, definitely not. I mean, if you're using the word opal and jewellery, to me, you would want to put it with the higher end. I mean, you had that lovely chain earlier, didn't you, for what, $21.95? Like I say, a couple of drops with those at different lengths. How beautiful would that be? How much would you charge for that? I mean, combined it's less than £30, isn't it?
How much would you charge, Laura?
For something like that, you would probably be looking at about £30 for a pair of earrings.
Exactly the figure that I had in my head.
You'd pay less than that for materials, and that's a fraction of what you would use. Yeah, you might have to add a few head pins and some earring findings, but that would be it.
So let's say you use, and when I said 5 gemstones, I was looking at the smaller gemstones, the smaller end of the strand. If we were going into the middle of the strand, I'd probably use 3 of those, I think. You know, if there's 120 gemstones, let's say we're using 10 in one pair of earrings, that's a lot of earrings that you've got there at £30 a piece, isn't it? We're at just £7.95. If your budget will allow you to today, multi-buy. I mean, why would you not at that price tag? And there is a tiny queue on the phone lines at the moment, but you know what, it's a free telephone number. It will not cost you a single penny. To be quite honest with you, I would happily sit there for half an hour on hold. It's never going to happen here with Jewellery Maker, but I would for this price, this gemstone, this carat weight, and this price tag. I would wait all day long. I tell you, that is fantastic. Pattern West Yorkshire, well done, collect it in Suffolk. You've got 2. Hertrude in the West Midlands has got 2. Albertha in the West Midlands, you've got 2. Roberta in Derbyshire's got 3. Suzanne in Tyne and Weir's got 2. Collect it in Cornwall's got 3. Rose in County Down, you've got 2. Congratulations. Collect it in County Durham, you've got 2. Angela in Hampshire, you've got 2. Carolyn Murphy, you've got 2. Collect it in Shropshire's got 2. Anita in Yorkshire's got 2. Congratulations. So many of you multi-buying. 35 in baskets right now. Karen in Lancashire, Sophia in Greater London, Charlene in Arizona, Hazel in Lincolnshire, Hilda in Surrey, Collector in Tyne and Wear, Marilyn, Jane in Somerset, Rachel in New York, Collector in the West Midlands, Janina in Kent, Karen in Cambridgeshire, Josephine, Ola in Lancashire, Shelley, Tina, Caroline, you've just joined me, Helen in Angus has just got 2. There's so many of you with these in baskets. Make sure you're getting it home. Once this is gone, it has gone. There's never ever any guarantees that they will come back at these prices. Charity Claire says, hi Hannah, how many beads are on the strand? Thank you. Approximately 120. I counted out half of the strand and it was 60. And it looked like I was pretty much halfway. Approximately 120 gemstones on the strand. Can you imagine using these in macrame designs and kumihimo designs? Wouldn't they look beautiful? Sarah in Suffolk says, how does nature create something that beautiful colour? Love it, got mine. Do you know what? This is a fantastic thing, Sarah in Suffolk, with so many natural gemstones. Due to heat, due to pressure, due to the right circumstances, that is what gives us these incredible, incredible gemstones. Literally being in the right place at the right time. Phenomenal. And we're at just £7.95. Do you know, I love, all gemstones are fantastic. You know, all genuine gemstones are fantastic. But when you get a gemstone that is natural, doesn't matter what the gemstone is, it completely blows my mind. Because as you just pointed out, you know, that is something that Mother Nature has created all by herself. No enhancements from man. All we've done with this gemstone is cut it and polish it. That is it. That's all we have done. This is the colour that this gemstone was born with, if you like. Isn't that just phenomenal? $7.95. Sorry, but RKRU10 is your code for this one. If you haven't dialed yet, you can still do it now. We still have a few chances left. Not many though, I've got to be honest. A couple of hundred have gone already. I've got over 14 baskets at this moment in time at that price tag. It is not one to be missed out on. It really isn't. Do remember, you've got a 30-day money-back guarantee. Who's going to be using that? I would. Oh gosh, that's ridiculous. If there are any left, I might show that to you before the end of the show. But just make sure that you're checking out as soon as you can. They are gorgeous. Right, are we doing the kit? This is the thing, do you know, I always kind of come in and I always think, I'm going to pick a favourite. Because that's what we do, I think. If there's 2, I'll pick a favourite. Today, I couldn't pick. because the labradorite from earlier on was incredible, and I love that gemstone. This though, abalone and fluorite, just look at these. Oh, Laura Lou. Do you know, I've just got to show you this piece before I do anything else. We need some kind of angelic music for this, I think. That was not bad, Claire. It was not bad. It was Amelia as well. I had surround sound then. Check out this design. Isn't this just beautiful? Look at all of those abalones. And I want to turn this around to the side as well so you can see the side of this. Look at those fluorites. So beautiful. I love this design, Laura. Loved it. How long did this piece take you?
Well, ironically, the first kit took me about a day and a half. This actually took me about half a day, 3/4 of a day to do the kit, because it was one of those. It just went. Once I got a design in my mind, it just created itself.
Oh, how gorgeous are these? They're just so organic, aren't they, these abalones? Abalone seems to be a really, really popular gemstone at this time of year. And I guess it has that kind of beachy, that summery feel about it, doesn't it? It always instantly makes me think of white linen trousers, this gemstone does, you know. The colours, the iridescence from this gemstone, it really is like no other. There are so... Oh, just look at them. There are so many colours just from one gemstone. I mean, really, there isn't a colour that we cannot see in abalone. Beautiful shell you've got here. And do you know what I love about these? So sometimes we have the shells that are kind of backed as well. Now, these are not... Now, I'm thinking that's going to open up a lot of designs for you as well, because I'm thinking, going back to what I was saying earlier on about seeing one of those shells on the strand, almost recreating the look of a mollusk, if you like. So if you kind of nestled a pearl in there, how beautiful would that look? It would look stunning, wouldn't it? Really, really gorgeous. So although they're not double-sided in effect, I think you could use that other side very, very easily in your designs as well. They'd lend themselves beautifully to petals as well, making kind of floral designs, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they do. I mean, they are lovely. They've got a lot of versatility to them. I mean, things like the earrings, obviously they're a long dropped earrings, so if you've got your hair up, you're going to see the back of them, but the back's going to look pretty because it's got that lovely iridescence to it.
Definitely. Now, you are guaranteed to get 10 individual gemstones on your gemstone strand, varying in size there. 23 by 12 to 38 by 22 millimetres in size. And you can just see from Laura's pieces, from her designs, the impact that even just one has in a ring. You know, you put one of these in a ring, you don't have to do anything else to it. It's a gemstone that speaks all for itself. You've got purples, you've got pinks, you've got greens, you've got blues, you've got golden hues, you've got turquoise hues in there. That is a stunning, stunning strand that you've got there. You also, love this, love this gemstone so much. Fluorite, completely natural gemstone. You've got a strand here that pretty much covers all of the colours that we get in fluorite. You've got the purples in there, you've got the blues, you've got the glacier greens, you've got some yellows in there as well. And aren't these a gorgeous size as well? 4 millimetre rounds you've got there. How many carats do I have, Phil? 40 carats of your fluorite there. 4 millimetre rounds, great for macrame, great for kumihimo if you're using your bead loom as well. They work fantastically in designs like that. Really fabulous size gemstone. They're so gorgeous. And then, check out the colour of this. Oh, hello. Look at that colour. Exactly how it should be. 30 carats of aquamarine. Now, do you know what? I have no idea where we're going on price tag for this kit, but I know because this is such a big carat weight of aquamarine, I would be more than happy to come in and give you that price just for this strand alone. Oh yeah. you have 30 carats of aquamarine, graduated faceted rondelles, 2x1 to 5x2 millimetres in size, and that is a 29 centimetre strand of aquamarine that you have there. Have you seen the prices of this gemstone on the high street? It doesn't come very affordably. This kind of carat weight, I don't even think you'd get on the high street. They're gorgeous, aren't they? Just beautiful. Now, you also have a whole lot of wire. 120 metres, so in the last kit I had silver coloured wire. This kit I've got the gold coloured wire, one of the most popular. Your champagne gold coloured wire, I've got 10 metres of your 0.8, 10 metres of your 1mm gauge, and again gold dust 100 metres of your 0.4mm gauge. So the gauge that I'm referring to is the thickness of the wire. So your 0.4mm gauge at the bottom there is a very fine gauge. Used by wire workers for weaving, so actually you get through a lot of it. So to get 100 metres is fabulous because you really will need that. You then got your 1mm gauge, which is great for structural pieces, torque necklaces, bracelets, rings, anything like that. So you've got that thicker gauge, and then you've got your 0.8mm gauge, which you can pretty much do anything you like with. NU GC 46, already at that price tag, just for that aquamarine alone, I am in. I am in. That is such a fabulous, fabulous price tag already. But do you know what? Our producer Phil, he's got his Hawaiian shirt on today and he's going crazy. He is. Better than half price for you today for all of these strands and all of this wire. We are at $21.95. Do you not think that for that aquamarine strand alone, $21.95 would be an incredible price tag? I do. Would you come in and pay $21.95 for that carat weight of natural aquamarine? I would. Look at what you are getting in this kit for £21.95. There are, at this moment in time, about 70 in baskets. Please keep checking out. Just check out, come in, get it, pop it in your basket and check it out. They will sell out very, very quickly. There are so many of you there right now. 0800 644 655. I've got multi-buyers on this kit as well. Telephone bidders, don't be put off. You can dial now and you can still do it. When you come through on those phone lines, there is an automated message. You can listen to it anytime you like. But right now, I would press your #1 button. Get through to the call centre straight away and confirm as soon as you can. NU GC 46 is your code for this one. 0800 644 655. Laura, what kind of price tag would you pop on this masterpiece?
For something like that, you would be looking again around about the sort of £60, £70 sort of start base, because it's, you know, it is a bespoke item really.
Definitely.
But it is something that, you know, it does take time, and it does take a design element to it as well. And it's got that sort of uniqueness to it, you know, sort of individuality. So
definitely, that is beautiful.
The other one is actually reversible, the pendant.
Oh, check you.
It's one that you can wear either side.
Yeah.
And then just on the inside, I've just dropped some of the aquamarine just so that if you see it, you won't see it obviously.
Yeah.
But when you see it from an angle, you catch it's just like a little glint of the aquamarine inside, like a little glint of sparkle inside. And I've got to be honest, it was, I was on air and I saw these were on air a while ago.
Yeah.
And someone said about putting them together like that, and I thought, well, that's a good idea. So I was playing about with it, and actually that's where I sort of got it from.
Yeah, and just to confirm as well, you will definitely get 10 of the abalone on your strand as well. They would look fabulous. I'm just thinking of having those as earrings, of just dropping a pearl through the back there would look gorgeous. OMG, Laura, I want all of your jewellery. Says customer. So do I. Don't we all? It's just so, so beautiful. Over half of the stock has already gone, but still so many in baskets. This will sell out. It really, really will. You've got some fabulous gemstone strands. The value in this kit is phenomenal. That is better than half price for you today as well. How fab is that? Both kits today, I tell you, have been exceptional. They really, really have great prices. If you're brand new to us here at Jewellery Maker, and you are thinking, you know, where do I start? Because I think that's probably the first thing I would think. I think, what on earth do I start with? Well, the kit is a great way to come in. and make a first purchase, because you've got several gemstone strands here, big carat weights as well, and you've got loads and loads of wire. So you can start off your jewellery making. You could perhaps make the earrings or the ring if you wanted to start off with something more simple. And with your first order, you will get a getting started booklet and a getting started DVD. So on that DVD and in that booklet, it will take you through a few simple steps of how to make basic earrings, necklaces, bracelets, simple stretchy bracelets, things like that. It will tell you about some of the essential tools that you will need as well, which can be found on our website. So that's helpful. Also, we're live here from 8 o'clock in the morning right through until 10 p.m. at night. So if you've got any questions while we're live, you can text into the studio 60777 and start your message with the word JM Studio. Or you can, if you're watching on the web, send a message via the web as well. So you can do that. Or you can call the call centre 0800 644 655. And if you're brand new, when you call through for the first time, they'll set up your account really, really easy. So they'll take a few details from you, and that is it then. You'll be allocated your customer number every time you dial in then. It is so easy. And you will be back. Oh, yeah. We've got Jewellery Makers Anonymous group on Facebook. I'll have you know. Yeah. There's 10 left. 10 of the kits left. Can I just say, massive, massive well done, Webbers. You've checked out. You're right hot on your heels this afternoon. At this moment in time, there's approximately 7 in baskets. At one point, we had about 70. So you have checked out. You've done really, really well. Telephone bidders, if you're there, just speak with the call centre and confirm. You're going to have this home very, very soon. I love the kits today. I might have to get both of them, you know.
Beautiful, beautiful kits. It was a real pleasure to work with this one. I sat in the garden, bright hot sun, getting burned.
Without sun cream on.
Yes.
What a wally.
I know. But it was, and there's something I will say, you know, go outside if it's a lovely day, because
put sun cream on.
Yes, put sun cream on. I get it. Yeah, I burn. I'm a bad, bad person. Because the sun changes the look of the stones, it makes them come alive, so it actually makes it feel really sort of quite calming. Yeah. This is quite a calming kit to work with. Yeah. So basically, I'm going to go through the statement piece. And sort of the rundown of that. But what I'll just explain is with these shells as such, you know, choose them before you do your design, have a little look and work out exactly what you're going to do with them. Yeah. For me, one jumped out to be a perfect ring size. Yeah. So if I looked at these, I actually treated mine like a cabochon, the one that's on my ring. So for me, I'm looking at this one and it's beautiful, thick sort of shard. That is one that I would possibly do as a ring. But I would say if you're going to use one as a ring, try to use one that's slightly thicker. Yeah. And you'll see that. That's really lovely and substantial. There's some that are a little bit more thinner, so try not to, because obviously you don't want them to break. Of course, not to be on your ring.
It is a brittle gemstone though, isn't it?
But only if it's your hands is quite. But there's, you know, these are lovely. And so again, choose your earrings and whatever you've got left. So I did that, and I had them left, and I was playing about with setting them like this. I mean, these have got beautiful greens inside. So each set, it's really not coming across how green that is. Yeah. You know, it depends on your strands and what you want to do with them, really. So looking at them like that, you know, just play. Yeah. So in my mind, I was thinking I wanted to create like a wave, like a beach scene kind of effect. That's
exactly what I was thinking when I looked at that. It just looks like a wave of aquamarine. I know it's almost like those abalone have been washed upon the shore.
That's what I'm kind of going for. So I was kind of going for this kind of beach theme. I was kind of using the aquamarine as like the foam of the waves, and then the fluorite as the kind of the actual sea itself. Wow. And so what I did do was, I mean, I still got tiny, but still got a handful of the. That's a ring. Yeah. It's a ring there. Of the aquamarine left. So what I did do was with the fluorite, I cut them and I separated all of the greeny colours because I wanted it predominantly the green kind of colours for the main focal part, and that's why it's all the purples around the edges because I had them separated. So just for when you do start to create this, separate them out into your beading tray and just separate your colours. Greens and your purples on one side.
Do you know, you're actually way more organised than I ever thought you were.
It's a one-off.
Yeah, you said this before, like planning out before and separating and looking and stuff like that. Wow.
Every now and again it happens, not very often. So I can do it if I have to. So again, with this kind of design, it's one that will build itself. It's one that you have to kind of do in stages. So when you break down the stages, it's actually quite a simple design. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, and just to point out, I'm going to use my leftover wire.
Leftover.
So I didn't use any of the 0.8 for this project.
Okay.
So I've used the 1 mil and
Yeah.
the 0.4.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is take a length of my 1 mil wire. Now for speed, I'm going to show you what I've already made up because there's no point you watching me create bends in the wire. And created that sort of wave effect. So you're just taking your pliers, and I always do it. I have a little look online. I look at some images, just typed in waves, get an idea visually of how those waves would be. And so I've created that kind of just with my pliers, just with my round nose, my chain nose pliers. I've just gone in, created those angles, and created this kind of shape. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is take another piece of my 1 mil wire. And I've gone for the 1 mil just because it's that stronger structural, and it means that you don't have to have loads and loads of layers of it. I do tell a lie, I did use 0.8 to add the purple fluorite to
around the
sides. So what I want, this is going to obviously be the bottom part. Now I obviously need another part, just go around the bottom of this again. So how much you sort of use is up to you.
Okay.
But what I want to do, if I move my little shells,
they sound lovely.
They're lovely, aren't they?
Really genuine.
Is then I can place this like this, and I can see that it's going to kind of go like this. And so I want this section here, which would be longer. I've made this a little bit short. And then like this. So you can see what will become.
Okay.
Move it up a bit for you. The kind of wave section. Okay, so that's what our intention is with this, and it's going to create the bottom. And then obviously this is going to kind of come over the front and capture the stones. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take my 0.4 wire and start weaving.
Okay.
This is it now. I'm out on Blue Peter out. This is my stages are done.
Fabulous.
So weaving, starting here, just a little bit, because I wanted it almost like the sand. Just wrapping 3 times around each side and going over to the other side. So cut my wire away from the reel, cut yourself about a handleable amount, so it'll probably be about 1 metre, say. So 1, and a clear space as well, because there's lots going on. 2, and then 3. This is one that you do have to kind of, there's no shortcut with this one. You are going to have to kind of work in and around the wires, unfortunately, just because, you know, of the way that we're working. So when I get to what will become the sort of the tip of the wave, what I'm going to do is take my aquamarine. And again, going back to what I said in the first sort of demonstration, you know, because this has got 2 sides to it,
going to make it symmetrical.
I'm going to make it symmetrical, so I'm going to use one of the graduated sides for this side, and then I'm going to use the second side for the other side. It helps you get that balance. Okay, so I'm not going to open that one just yet, because we know that I'm not the tidiest with tiny beads. Not going to lie. They run away from me. And what I'm going to do is just take, again, if after you've been weaving you find that this wire, you may struggle a little bit to get the beads on, just cut it so you get a nice sharp edge again. And I'm just going to, now, if you do get it where it is graduated, what you can do, and this will be used quite a lot throughout the design, is, you know, have it, some of the larger ones, almost work backwards. So if I cut, say, the section here, use some of these and then take the smallest. So it graduates down into the tip of the wave. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So you would use the larger ones and then maybe just fill that last little bit in with one of the teeny tinies. Okay. Because I actually made the earrings first.
Oh,
I made the ring first, then I made the earrings. And when I made the earrings, because I didn't want the tiniest parts, I actually cut them here. So I already had that sort of graduated section. Sorry, these are fun to put on. No pressure.
Should I bring something on while you're doing that? Oh, the pliers I've got here.
I love
The pliers take the pressure off you a bit, Laura. Have a look at these. Now, I had a couple of pairs of nylon jaw pliers yesterday. And these are your nylon jaw forming pliers, which are fabulous. Laura, I know you've got these already. I can see them from here. But loads of wire workers have these, and they are a fantastic, fantastic tool. Now, any tools with your nylon jaw on will protect your wire. So if you've got your coloured wires, for example, it's not going to take any of that colour off. If you're working with 925, you know, it's going to prevent it from getting any dinks and marks in it as such. But your forming pliers, as you can see, you've got that curve curvature in there. So if you are making a cuff or a bangle, just literally, if you like, munching your wire, as wire workers call it, very technical term, going in and munching your wire, going across the length, it's going to give you that curvature.
Can you turn it round so it doesn't look sad?
Oh, that's better. He's happy now.
He's happy, smiles.
Yay! So yeah, he just literally munches the wire, and it gives you that curvature in your cuff or your bangle, doesn't it?
If you give me the pendant over, the second one.
This one?
Yeah.
Are you going to do it?
I will, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So they're really good also for getting curves on, like you say, on your bracelets, but also on your torque necklaces.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just, these were the first version you brought out. And you just go along.
Munch it.
And just, you'll get that shape.
Yeah.
So it'll start to form around, and then you can sort of manipulate it to sit exactly how you want it to sit.
Yeah.
And I use these all the time for my cuff bracelets. So I do plaited cuff bracelets, and I will always use these to get that natural sort of start of a shape.
Yeah.
And then you can sort of see how that's kind of curved that round now and made it more almost like torque shape.
But also it gets both sides symmetrical as well, doesn't it? It gives you that consistency throughout your design as well. So they really are fabulous. 0800 644 655. If you've not got them already, I would definitely be coming for them today. £6.95. Incredible, incredible value for you. But do you know what? So many of our designers have more than one pair of any tool as well. Always great to have more than one pair if you can. One for the craft bag, one for the workroom, one just in case you can't find them. Entirely up to you. If you want to come in and get a couple, you can. Take advantage of that one postage and packaging today, which is just £2.95. VTZX07 is your code for this one. 0800 644 655. Loads of you checking these out. Massive, massive weather. They're great for your sheets as well, aren't they? Your bare copper sheets.
Your bare copper sheets, your sterling silver sheets.
If you've got your sterling silver sheets as well, you would not want to be without these,
no,
would you?
definitely not. And you just get that curve, like you say, you can get that domed kind of shape in your pieces. So if you did like the little tags, again,
cool, to put tags in
you put your tags on it, stamp onto your tag, say, and have it in between your chain and your cord. You can just use that to get that natural curve to sit on your wrist.
Excellent, there you go. It's phenomenal value, that is. Well done if you've got those in your basket. Do make sure you check it out. Fantastic. Well done. Righty-ho, Laura Lou.
Okay, right, so I'm done with that. So, so what I've done is I've just actually put a number, however many I need, to fit into that little point there. Okay, I'll just put my hand back, there you go. And then I've just wrapped a couple of times around that sort of part of the wave. Yeah. Okay, now what I'm going to do is bring my wire back and almost underneath the aquamarine. So again, this one isn't, when you break it down, it's not actually that it's too much of a complex design, but it is a little bit fiddly, as in you've got quite a lot of wire to kind of work around. So again, I'm taking this wire and just that little section there, just that little join in between the weave and where the aquamarine starts, I'm just going to bring my wire back up and just wrap it to attach and turn it back around. Okay. Obviously, you know, I'm trying to show you on a flat surface. Yeah. Bring the wire back down. And when you're doing this, you're going to be quite constantly sort of checking the shape and the size, because this is going to be the focal. So you don't want it to be massive. Yeah. So you are going to need to make sure that it is going to sit how you're going to want it to. Yeah. And then I'm going to just take that plain part again, and then wrap one. Oops. 2, and then 3, and then you can do another plain wrap if you want. Yeah. Or you can start to fill in with some stones. So what I actually did was I actually did a couple of plain wraps, and when I got to this section here, I just cut a couple of my aquamarines. Again, as I said, you're just for time consuming. Pop the green ones as you're going along into one little side pocket of your beading tray. Yeah. And then you haven't got to check them. And then pop sort of say 2 of these on. Okay. Or however many are needed. Yeah. So 2, so I'm obviously going to need 3. So I can go back and go for 3. Put that in. And then that's going to just sort of sit along now. You can see how it's starting to get that sort of wave C effect already. So again, what you could do is pop that there, and just so that it fills in as it should, almost come behind. Okay, yeah. So although we're going to be working forward, you want to kind of almost bring it behind, just because you don't want any obvious kind of gap. Right, you want to just make it look as filled in as possible. Oops. Hence why you keep it as clear as you can. So I'm just going to step back 2 seconds, and then you can just bring that back forward there, and then you can just get it to come back to the front. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
There you go. All right?
Yeah.
So then what you're going to do is just continue a little bit more weaving and repeat that for these 2 side waves. And then when I got to the centre part, what I wanted to do was, just because I wanted that to be like the C in effect, I actually just filled that up with the fluorite. And what I did, so imagine I've woven this, we'll just pretend, I'm not going to do it, but we've woven all of this. I've done another little seafoam kind of tip here. And then when you get to this point here, we're going to add the fluorite and the aquamarine. Now what you've got to do is, if the wire is going to be coming down, so if it's coming from the top part of the wave towards the bottom of the frame, you put an aquamarine first, then you put your fluorites, and then when you're coming back up, you put your fluorites and your aquamarine. Because you want your aquamarine to be running along here as the foam, but you need this to all be the sort of the C part, okay? Now you'll probably make it to about here, and then there'll be a point where, one, you might have run out of wire, but you then need to reverse it back in. So what you do is you find a natural stopping point, and then, because obviously we need to do the weaving section to mirror this, it needs to be done here. So when you run out of wire, and it's sort of around about here,
just start
restart here. It's a little bit more fiddly, but just fill it back in to mirror it, okay? That's that section.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
So then I was thinking, I now need to sort of play about with how am I actually going to be able to set these stones. So play about with the layout that you like for a start. I mean, like you say, they graduated. I had like a lovely focal one, and then I had sort of some nice side ones. So 1, 2, 3. I had 5 in the end on mine. 4. And I wanted them to be quite matchy. So
that's nice.
That's quite nice, isn't it? So that's my ring, my earrings, and my pendant.
Wow.
All right. So if I've got that in mind, now again I've got these here. So I needed some support, because obviously I'm thinking it's very well having this foam, but if I place it along here like this, and that's the other thing I did as I was working along, even as it was being filled up with sort of weaves, and I was placing it along to see how it would fit against those stones, okay? So obviously I need support against the back of the stone. So these stones are drilled obviously through the top. So there's no support for the bottom. So I could have attached it to a top frame, but there still would have been movement. So I wanted to think of how could I prevent that. So this is a really fun, easy, cheaty kind of way of doing it.
Cheaty.
You've got 100 metres of 4 wire. I'm so sorry. It's the hot nights, I'm not sleeping.
That's exactly what it is. That's what everybody's been putting their mistakes down to the last couple of days. It's the heat.
It is the heat. It is. And the fact that my daughter comes in because she's hot and wakes me up because she's hot. So what I'm going to do is I've literally just taken a load of my 0.4 wire and I'm just going to screw it all up into a ball, into a big mess. Probably would need a little bit more, but it's just as a support. So what is handy to do is to find the end, one, and then keep an eye on the other end.
Righty-ho.
Okay, and this is going to become our back, sort of the support and the base, okay? And what's really good about this is it's quite forgiving, so you can do any kind of securing and it blends into the design. So it's, you know, it looks like I'm making a big mess at the moment. Technically I kind of am, but it does work. Okay, so there's your kind of little messy kind of CC set. So it's going to go on like that. Okay, so now I need another piece of 1mm wire. And this is now going to go across. Now when I say lengthwise, it's probably 3/4 metre, say. So what I want is this to go across the top here. So if this is woven, can you see now how that's going to then become my top? All right, so what I need is to attach my sort of wire mess, in effect, to the C section, and then I'm going to feed the 1mm wire through it. All right, so it's just little stages of what you need to do. So if I get this in place, what I'm going to do, I'll just start it. What I need to do is place this behind like this, and because I've got both the tail wires, that helps me because I know there's no sharp edges in that in there. There's no little sticky bits that are going to cut you or scratch. And what I'm going to do is you literally just blend it in. So where you've got your sort of weave in here, you just take that end wire and you can go through that weave-in and then just catch. And so see here I've got like a loop, so I can catch that loop, and if there's any kind of obvious loops you can place them, fold them there and catch them, and then you would just do that until you get to the end on that side. And obviously having the whole piece woven, it blends in with the design. So you do that with that side, and then with this side you take that longer piece and then you stitch, I'll stitch all the way along here. Okay. So you do that and I'll do this.
Okay, lovely jubbly. Look at the size of these. The carat weight here is huge. You have quite possibly the most sizable garnets I've ever seen. They're like juicy cherries, aren't they? They are huge, so sumptuous in their colour. You are looking at 370 carats of your garnet playing rounds. 10mm rounds they are. 10mm round, you could quite easily just take one of those, couldn't you, Laura, and wire wrap that into a ring and it would look gorgeous.
Easily. Pair of earrings, pendant, it's beautiful.
They are so sizable. That depth of colour is phenomenal. 100% natural. Have you still not opened up your order yet today? I think you should now. 0800 644 655 ZNPO 43. Natural garnet of this size, this carat weight at £4.95. Really? I'd be multi-buying. I would be multi-buying. You haven't seen this one since April of this year, so quite a few months we've been waiting for this one to come back. You could take, you know, your different coloured threading materials. You could pearl knot, couldn't you? You could just knot in between each one of these gemstones with some really brightly coloured threading materials, and that would look gorgeous, wouldn't it? Stretchy bracelets, how fantastic. Just put jump rings in between each one there. That is such an affordable price tag for garnet. First thing you're going to notice when you get this strand home is the weight of it. It is so heavy. It really is. 370 carats. In fact, I'm going to count out how many gemstones you've got on this strand. See if we can work out the carat weight per gemstone, maybe. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19, 39 gemstones approximately you've got there. 9.5 carats on average per gemstone. Just think about that ring that you're going to make with just one of these. Are you going to be putting a £5 price tag on them or more? I think you probably would, wouldn't you? You're going to have your money back on just one gemstone. I think you probably will. That's incredible. Well done if you managed to get that. Christine in West Midlands has got 2, Richard and Angela in Somerset. You've got 2. Mary in Surrey, Janet in Lanarkshire, you've got 2. Loads and loads of these in baskets. Loads of you buying 2, actually. Pretty much every person that has checked out so far has got 2 of these. You can, if you want to, get as many as you like. There's no limit to how many you come in for per customer. If we've got quantity available, you can absolutely fill your boots or your baskets, in this case your trolleys today with everything that we've had. ZNPO 43, Michael in Commandershire, you've just got 2. Sharon, well done. Diane in Yorkshire, you've got yours. Paula in Lanarkshire, Claire in Yorkshire, Jill in Sussex, Charlene in Arizona, Josephine in Greater London, Hilma, you've just joined me, Kate in Dorset, you're there. Director West says, you know what, I quite like that pink thread with those actually. Perhaps you've got some of your pink threading material in your stash at home that you could use and just knot in between each one there. You could do that, couldn't you? Really compliments it, doesn't it? Gorgeous. £4.95. 0800 644 655. Well done if you've managed to get that. That's a beautiful. Imagine just using peridot with those.
I love peridot with garnet. It's beautiful.
How about just putting one of these in a pearl necklace? Just in the middle. So regal. I love garnet and pearls. Beautiful. Right then, Laura.
Okay, so you can get the idea. So it's looking, obviously it's looking a little bit rough at the moment, but obviously if this was all filled in
with... It's rough sea.
It is rough sea.
Yeah, it's choppy waters.
But if this was all filled in with the, you know, with the peridot and the colours, you can see how it would be standing out against it, okay? Yeah. So what I've then done is taken that additional 1mm wire, as I said, and I've just loosely secured it, just sort of woven it through that top section of the sort of the nest in effect. Okay, so you can see there that this is now starting to build up, so that now we can start to place the stones and get an idea. You might not want to do sort of 5, you might want to just do 3, you might just want to do 1, it's up to you. So what I now want to do is go around how I can actually secure these onto the actual piece.
Okay.
So I'm going to cut this wire a moment. So what I'm going to do is, again, using this sort of the base wire, which is the 1mm wire, take a piece of 1mm 0.4. Now, whether you've got it in a continuous place where you've been adding, and you can continue, or if not, just use add new.
Yeah.
And again, what I've done is just to break it up a little bit and give it that sort of, again, C look. So I've just popped like maybe 1 of the aquamarines on, then chose your stone, pop it straight through, and I went through easily.
Yeah.
And then place it in. Sit it exactly where you want it to sit.
Okay.
Okay, and then another little aquamarine.
Yeah.
And again, just secure it. So you can see now why we did this kind of nesting at the back, because I wanted some support for those stones. But now what I'm going to do, because obviously what I don't want is this wave to be catching and moving.
Yeah.
So because we've got this nest in effect, you can bring your wire to any point of this neck piece and it's going to just blend in. So it's not going to be like obvious bits of wire going anywhere. And so what I'm going to do is bring the wire up. I'm actually going to catch the tip of that wave. And just, what you can do is use your hand as well to kind of curve it.
Okay.
So it sits nicely over it.
Yeah.
So you get that kind of effect. And then put that wire back through. It's only 1 little stitch, but it's just secured it. And then you bring that wire back up here, pop it back through. And again, if you see any like loose little bits of the nest in effect, this section here, you just bring your wire through, catch that, almost stitch it, and then add another gemstone. All right, so whichever one to say, I've gone for the large one. And again, you might find that you might have wanted to have some certain stones, but it may change as you're working with it.
Yeah.
Pop that on, and again, place it. So you can see how it's kind of creating its effect, sit it how you want it to sit. All right, and so that's what you would do for that section there. And you would fill that in. Again, you may have enough wire to go all the way across. If you haven't, you can always start from the other side.
Yeah.
And then the additional part that I then did was, because obviously I've got this gap here, what I wanted to do was weave.
Right.
So I'm going to, again, take, once I've set all of this and I'm happy with how it's set, and there's nothing to say if you've got a few little sprinkles of the aquamarine that you don't sprinkle them in around the sea in effect. Exactly the same as this part here, took a new piece of wire, did a little bit of my figure of 8 weaving, but as I got to, obviously the nesting's going to come out further, sort of tapered out further, and again, same as I did with the tip of the wave, I just stitched a couple to, again, give that sort of movement of the sea. So I did a little bit of weaving here, then I got some of the fluorite, to bring that water effect in, so I just looked at it and realised that I did that. And then, so you can see on the side bits there. Yeah. So almost again like the water coming in. So stitch it, weave it to start it, add some of the fluorite in. And what I did do, because by now I was getting low on the fluorite, as I did this side, what I was doing was taking, I say getting low, it's because I was using the greens only. What I did was, as I put one there, I put one in a pocket. One there, put one in a pocket. So I knew I had the same. So I just did that. And again, just did the wave bit. And then it's just adding the 0.8 just to wrap around down the side. Okay. Because I made it all, you know. Yeah, I found that I had the 2 longer wires were long enough to go around the neck, and then the shorter one wasn't quite long enough. So you can just, you know, you can just blend that into the design. And yeah, just wrapped 2 pieces like this, and then just took a piece of 0.8 and wrapped it all the way down, adding the 0.8, and then brought the wire back up, and it kind of mirrored it. And if you look at the clasp, I actually added a couple of the aquamarine onto the clasp just to give it like a bit of a finish.
Attention to detail.
And that's pretty much it. So although it's technically, it sounds and looks quite complex, when you break it down, it's not. It's just a matter of filling in the gaps and just giving support really to the stone.
Such a gorgeous, gorgeous design, Laura. I love it. So beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For that. It is fabulous. Do you remember those pyrite cabochons that I showed you? Brand new. Time for a star buy. Welcome back. It is time for your star buy. These are brand new pyrite cabochons that you've got here. I've never ever seen anything quite like them before. They are fabulous. Phil saw these earlier on and said, oh, you know what? I really like those. I'd really like it if Laura could make me something out of one of those. Because they are quite unisex, aren't they? I can really see these in gents' pieces, you know, perhaps cuffs maybe, or just incorporated into a design with some leatherette cord maybe. But for me, I was looking at these as well and I was thinking, do you know what? That is my Friday night piece of jewellery. Night out with the girls, one of these wire wrapped into a ring would look fabulous. But because it is pyrite and it's durable, it kind of, you know, it's been used for hundreds and hundreds of years in jewellery, your pyrite has. So it's got that kind of vintage look to it, hasn't it? A real vintage feel about it. Gorgeous. I love those. Now, I did have 5, did I not? Is that the one that you pinched? Yeah.
I was given.
I had 5 cabochons. Now, I can't guarantee you 5 again, but I can guarantee you the carat weight, which is 210 carats in total. Look at that for a staggering. Can you imagine this? You know the black coloured wire that I've had? Wouldn't that look cool with these? You know, making a ring or wire wrapping that into a pendant design with some of the black wire would look really, really cool. But again, the copper's going to complement it beautifully. The gold's going to work fantastically. All the silver with this as well. 210 carats you've got there. So you could get less cabochons, smaller sizes, no, less cabochons, bigger sizes, more cabochons, smaller sizes. You are guaranteed to get that carat weight. Deb in the West Midlands says, I've worked with these before and they also go under the name of Healer's Gold. Oh, I didn't know that. Healer's Gold. I heard Fool's Gold before, but never Healer's Gold. Well, there you go then. There you go. KWVP07 is your code for these. 210 carats going down to Bargain Town. 0800 644 655 is how you can get involved at just £9.95. Laura, you have already started working on your challenge, haven't you? Look at that design. Isn't that gorgeous? Wire wrap that into a pendant. Really, really beautiful. How long have you been working on that for?
About half hour.
Really? Do you know, that looks like you had it at the start of the show to me. That's a lot of wire work in there. Isn't that gorgeous?
Debating whether to make it a pendant or to make it a bracelet.
Yeah?
Still in that indecisive. Not quite sure.
Not quite sure, Ian, do you?
No.
But that's the great thing, when you do something like this, you can kind of... I mean, that could be a brooch as well, couldn't it?
It could be,
easily.
yeah.
Quite easily, that could be a brooch. It's gorgeous, isn't it? £9.95. How much would you sell that for, Laura, do you think?
When I do designs like this, it would be around... I do it as a minimum of a start price of £25.
Wow.
So,
yeah,
that's just for that type of design, and obviously the more complex it is, the more it becomes.
Yeah. Definitely. And then £9.95. I had 5 cabochons. That works out to £2, sorry. £2 per cabochon. I told you I was very shit mouthed, didn't I? KWVP07 is your code for this one. Producer Phil, she said, that looks like a dinosaur egg. Have you ever seen a dinosaur egg, Phil? In films, museums, 210 carats, KWVP07, Jacqueline in Dorset, Gail collected in Merseyside, Maureen in County Durham, Lisa in Cheshire, Sally in Hampshire, Sharon, you've got your Shirley Maxine in Tennessee, 30-day money back guarantee, 30 days. So any products here at Jewellery Maker, any pieces that you buy from us, any strands, any tools, anything at all, if you get them home, and you think, do you know what, they're not for me, you can just send them back. It's a no quibble money back guarantee. If you get a strand home and you've actually made your jewellery already and you still think, it's not for me, all that we ask is that you send your jewellery back as well, and we will still refund your money. Isn't that that fabulous? Fantastic, isn't it? KWVP07, massive. Well done if you've managed to get those already. A couple of multi-buyers there as well. Is the pyrite a heavy gem, please? And how does Laura start that pendant bracelet design? Love Laura's work, Mary. Do you know what? They're not heavy individually as cabochons, but generally pyrite is quite a heavy gemstone. So it's quite like your hematite. So if you were looking at a strand of pyrite, you'd certainly feel the weight in that. But as individual cabochons, they're not really very weighty at all. I mean, you'd certainly know that you were wearing them, but they've got, you know...
Say they've got substance.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, in a way, they feel like a piece of metal.
Yeah.
Because that is obviously what pyrite sort of imitates, isn't it, in effect? Like, it has that kind of feel. You know that you've got it, but it's not... It's not heavy and uncomfortable.
It wouldn't be uncomfortable
No,
to wear
definitely not. You just feel quite comforting, actually, because it's cool as well. With this one, I happened to choose a really quite quirky stone, and it just had two little angles. So I started off by catching it on the angles, and then I've just decorated and stitched. I'll show you the back, just sort of giving it some support around the back, really. And so, yeah, that's... I don't really know. I just made it up. I'm sorry.
I just winged it. I did. Just winging it. Brilliant to know that doesn't go along. Coming up for you after the break, my favourite gemstone in the world ever, Zambian emerald. Don't get to bring you that every day of the week, I tell you. And I've got your chrysler colour, so don't go anywhere, because I'll be back with you in just a couple of minutes' time.
We here at Jewellery Maker love to hear your feedback. So working in conjunction with FIFO, a global ratings and reviews provider, when you purchase a product from JM, you'll receive an email asking you to rate our service and our products. This helps us to bring you excellent customer service and ensure we're bringing you value for money and high quality goods. Have your say with Jewellery Maker FIFO reviews.
Spinel is a historically important gemstone. It is often located in the same gravel beds as things like corundum, so your rubies and sapphires. Because it comes in the same colours, blues and reds, it's often mistaken as a sapphire. Now, this isn't to the detriment of Spinel itself. It has its own important qualities such as great RI, so it's very, very reflective, and great dispersion as well. So it shows a lot of fire as the light hits the stone. From a historical point of view, one of the main important spinels actually sits in the crown jewels, and this was for a long time believed to be a ruby, but recent gemological testing has found the Princess Ruby is actually a spinel.
Hi there, we're here at the Jewellery Maker Summer Garden Party. I'm here with Rainey. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Are you having a nice day?
I am, yes.
Fantastic.
And it's dry. Wonderful.
Isn't it just? It's proper sunshine today.
It is, lovely.
Gorgeous. Now, Rainey, later on this month, we've got a special Pearl Day coming up on Jewellery Maker, where you are going to get the chance to come in and get these 3 strands of genuine freshwater cultured pearls. They're all metre lengths of pearls. Are you a fan of pearls on Jewellery Maker?
Yes.
What kind of things do you like to make with your pearls?
Well, my daughter makes necklaces. I like to do tiaras.
Oh,
bridal.
Perfect. Okay.
And
now,
combs and...
Oh, wonderful. You are going to get the chance to come through on our web, on our phone lines, and get these 3 metre strands of genuine freshwater cultured pearls. We're going to be taking them all under £100.
Have you seen the prices in the jewellers' shops?
I take it you like the idea of that.
I do, yes.
Yes. Are you going to be with us that particular day? I think it's going to be the 22nd, 23rd of July.
If I can, yes, of course I will.
Definitely.
Yes.
Another satisfied Jewellery Maker viewer there, ladies and gentlemen.
deal of the day. This is just epic. My favourite gemstone in the whole wide world. For me, there is nothing that compares to it for me at all. Have a look at the recording. Our Ryan's got a recording. Amelia is just speaking to the do you know, that for me, that is the exact colour that I want to see in my Zambian emerald. Oh my gosh, isn't it just phenomenal? Look how vivacious those colours are. How juicy those colours are. Now, emeralds, quite a few people say to me, why is Zambian emerald in particular your favourite? So, different locations give us different hues, will give us slightly different clarities in gemstones. There will be a variation in colour. Zambia is famed for giving us a very striking, very fresh, fantastic, glowing emerald with really, really saturated colour. Now, all of our Zambian emeralds come from the Gemfields mines over in Zambia. Now, have you heard of Carl Fabergé? One of the biggest designer houses in the world. He did indeed produce a filter. Said he made the eggs, didn't he? Yes, the Fabergé eggs. Now, Gemfields actually bought Carl Fabergé a good few years ago. So if you go onto Carl Fabergé's website and you type in specifically Zambian emeralds, you will struggle to find prices. The emeralds on Carl Fabergé's website, Zambian emeralds, have come from exactly the same mines that this emerald here has come from. In my opinion, Zambia has given the world the best, in my opinion. It is so fabulous. It is so emerald in its colour. This is exactly how I want my emerald to be for colour. Not two in the whole entire world will be identical. No two. Even if you have a perfectly colour matched pair of earrings, they will be as individual as you and I. Emeralds are known for their inclusions. It's Mother Nature's fingerprint within the gemstone. We're talking 50 million years in the making in your Zambian emerald. Each and every single one telling a story. I just look at that colour and look at how many you've got. 20 carats of Zambian emerald. Now, I'm just going to tell you a little story because I feel it's quite relevant. And it's something that really, really shocks me. Now, you know how I always talk to you about valuations. So, a couple of years ago, I was very fortunate, as it is my favourite gemstone, and obviously being over at Gemporia, I was really lucky to get myself a one-of-a-kind 6-carat Zambian emerald solitaire. I'll be completely honest with you, I paid high 3 figures for that ring. And you know what? I thought it's a one-of-a-kind, it's a Zambian emerald, I'm going to get it valued. I had it valued at £11,000. To say I was pleased was an understatement, I tell you. I was jumping for joy. Don't reminds to think of all the maxi dresses you could buy with that. Obviously, that is for insurance purposes to replace. So that's what that valuation was for, to replace the ring again. But you know, Zambian emerald. I went into Harrods a couple of years ago. Beautiful ring. The lady said, "Do you want to try it on?" Do I want to try Zambian emerald on? Of course I do. Tried this beautiful Zambian emerald ring on. It had 2 tiny diamonds either side. It was set into platinum. You know, I can't make direct comparisons again. It was set into jewellery. It was finished jewellery. She said, "Would you like to know how much it is?" And I said yes. So she went to get a book. At that moment I thought, hang on a minute, what's going on here? That ring that I had on my finger was £138,000. At that moment, I just casually slipped it off and put it back. I come back another day. You know, know, these are the kind of prices that Zambian emeralds can command. They are known for their incredible colour, their incredible hue. The uniqueness of emerald does kind of put that price tag on them, because nobody else in the world will have exactly the same emerald as you. It is my favourite gemstone ever, and you know, every time that I wear emeralds, I've got quite a few designs. That one I just told you about being you know, my kind of masterpiece, but you know, I've got some emeralds set into sterling silver. Whenever I wear them, I get compliments on them because it is such a striking colour. It's Mother Nature's backdrop. You put this gemstone with anything and it will work. I had some pearls. I haven't got them anymore, but do you know what? That pearl strand that I showed you earlier, the 6mm rounds, they will look gorgeous alongside. Using these as spacers in between those pearls. You know, you put them with rubies, you put them with sapphires, you put them with diamonds. They will look at that colour. I mean, oh. Peter in Greater London says, I sold a bracelet of emeralds and black spinel for £54. There you go. There you go. You know, they can command high price tags. We are looking at incredible colour, phenomenal clarity, and that price tag. Deal of the day, deal of the year so far for Zambian emeralds, 20 carats. That's not even £1 a carat for you today for Zambian emerald. Get this one home, get your certificate of authenticity with this one. Again, if you're not entirely satisfied, just send it back. Do you know what? I'm going to get 3. I'm getting 3 of these strands today. At a price tag like that, I am not missing out. And all of that jewellery I'm going to make for myself. I'm just going to make myself an entire suite. I'm going to have the bracelet, I'm going to have the necklace, I'm going to have the earrings. What would you do with these, Laura?
Well, like you say, channel setting, anything like that.
Yeah.
Make a beautiful ring with them. They're really lovely as well, the sort of, if you have a lovely focal brilliant gemstone, to just have clusters of them above it on tiny head pins, like the rose gold ones that we had, you know, just hanging off some chain. It's delicate, but it's pretty as well. They have so much scope, spacer beads, just anything really.
They're gorgeous, aren't they? They look stunning with these pearls. Get the emeralds and get the pearls. Imagine the valuation of something like this as well. You know, you've got Zambian emeralds there. You've got 6mm perfectly round, genuine pearls. That could be a family heirloom piece of jewellery that you pass down through the generations. 0800 644 655 or on the web today at JewelleryMaker.com. OAUD92 is your code for this one. £17.95. I've got multi-buyers on this one. I do not blame you at all. If you haven't got emerald into your stash yet, let this be the strand. If you do not fall in love with this, I will be very, very surprised. Get it outside in natural daylight. The inner glow that comes from emeralds is just spectacular. It really is. And I think as far as emerald strands, you know, think about the Brazilian strands that we have here. Fantastic. Do you see any clarity on them? We don't generally, do we? You know, we've had a Colombian emerald strand, beautiful, a lot paler in colour, as typically Colombia will bring you. This, for me, ticks every single box. Maureen in Essex has got 4. Maureen, well done. Barbara in West Yorkshire, Joy in Essex, Collecting Greater Manchester, you've got 2. Deborah in Hampshire. Joanne in Cheshire, Ingrid in Surrey, Tina Gale, well done. Wendy, all there. Linda, congratulations, well done to you. David in Essex is back. Hi Hannah, the Zambian emerald is great. So much scope for anything. I'm using S-hooks to make bespoke earrings today. Oh, get you. I bet they look nice, don't they? Sound fancy. 0800 644 655. If you do want to text us in this afternoon, let us know what you're up to. 60777. Start your message with the word JM Studio. Alternatively, if you're watching on the web, there is a little box just below the live feed that says send message to studio. Or if you're on the app, if you just click the lines in the top right hand corner, it should bring up a screen that says send message to studio, and you can do it that way as well. And it comes straight through, and our producer Phil will pick it right up.
Imagine if you got the kit. You could use them as the sea foam, just a little going along the tips of the waves. They look lovely. Or even if you just kept it simple with the earrings and just had them instead of where the aquamarine are on the earrings. Those.
How lavish would that be? Please get yours valued. Get them valued. I'd love to know the valuations for something like that. That's incredible. Right then, young Philip. Should we do the pearls? Oh, do you know what? I've shown you these quite a few times. I'm very excited to be bringing you perfectly round pearls. It doesn't happen very often because, you know, perfectly round pearls, they will be a more considered purchase. It's one of the main factors that is taken into consideration when it comes to valuing pearls. One is roundness, one is pearlescence, one is size, another one is orient as well, which has been, do you know what, we can tick every single box. Every single box for these. Oh my gosh. Let's take a walk down Bond Street, shall we? Walk past that designer boutique and you see these in a boutique window. No price tag, but the label says white freshwater culture pearls. 6mm rounds, completely natural. What price tag would you think? If there was no price tag on them, would you go in and ask? I wouldn't. You wouldn't, would you? There's no way. I don't think any of us would. I think we generally all assume the same thing. If there is not a price tag on there, then I can't afford them. That's what I think. Now, pearls are very, very rare indeed. It might be a bit difficult to get around your head, seeing, you know, bearing in mind that we see pearls every single day here at Jewellery Maker. But when you think that a mollusk produces a pearl and it starts out as a tiny little grain of sand or a little piece of debris, if you like, and then it squirts a substance onto that and it forms over years and years and years. It takes years to culture. So firstly, we have to unturn that mollusk, if you like, and find a pearl that is of gemstone quality. That doesn't happen very often at all. Then, when we do unturn that mollusk and we find a pearl that is of gemstone quality, it might be of gemstone quality because it has a fantastic luster. It might be of gemstone quality because it is very white in its colour. But it might still not be perfectly round. So we can strand those and we can bring them to you at great prices. But then, when you unturn that mollusk and you have a pearl that is perfectly round, that value instantly goes up. You're looking at something that is very, very desirable. To be formed perfectly round, very, very rare indeed. So that's just one pearl. But then have a look at how many you have on this strand. There are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 40, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 60, 2, 4, 6, 8. Approximately 68 times over. That is so rare that we've been able to take every single one of these pearls, strand them for you with luster, with pearlescence, with the orient that is textbook. So the orient of the gemstone, if you imagine, and you may have seen it just this week actually with the weather that we've had, when you get kind of a hot summer's morning, and the sun comes up, but you've got that haze, you've got that, you know, that kind of dew that comes off the ground, and then you've got that haze against the sunshine. So it's that hazy look. That is the orient of the gemstone that we're looking at. You can tick every single box here. You're looking at a 6mm gemstone that is perfectly round. You've got the orient, you've got the luster there, the pearlescence is just beautiful. I mean, guest designer Fleur Hastings, who does pearl knotting, told me that when she pearl knots a necklace and adds a 925 sterling silver clasp, she will not sell them for less than £100. Now, that day that she said it, I'd got a strand that I think that was 6 by 7mm in size, so they were not perfect rounds. I'm just wondering what she would think to perfect rounds, what kind of price tag she'd be putting on perfect rounds. Come in for these, pearl knot them, add your 925 sterling silver clasp. We're at just £17.95 for you this afternoon. 0800 644 655. I was saying just the other day, can you imagine having a pearl necklace passed down to you is one thing, but having a pearl necklace passed down to you that perhaps your grandmother made or your great grandmother made, How fantastic would that be? How sentimental, how lovely would that be to have something like that passed down to you? They are gorgeous. Bridal designs as well. If you go onto an internet search now, type in 6mm round pearl necklace. Just have a look at the prices you can find. I would be very, very surprised if you find anything anywhere near £200. I don't think. Ah, they're not perfect rounds, Phil. Phil's struggling to find perfect rounds. MQGP07 is your code for this one. 0800 644 655. Antoinette in Belfast, Eileen in Derbyshire, Melanie Hilmer's got 3, collect it in Greater Manchester, you've got 2, Anna in Suffolk, you've got 3, Deborah in Hampshire, Delia in Kent, collect it in Glamorgan, you've got 2, collect it in Gloucestershire, Katrina in Cardiff, Janice in Rutland, Simon in Neath, Susan and Brian in East Sussex, Brenda in Merseyside, Debbie in Lancashire, Anne in Caerphilly, well done, you've just got yours. Collect it in Glamorgan, you've just got 2 on the telephone lines. Huge, huge congratulations to you. I am seeing the pound signs with this, I've got to be honest with you. And you know, one of our guest designers, Janet Dwyer, here as well. She's a bit of a pearl queen, I have to say. She might go for earrings with something like this. And if you're using 95 sterling silver earring findings with something like this as well, again, you've got to take into consideration you've got a perfectly round pearl and using 925. Most of our guest designers say they wouldn't put a price tag at any lower than £15 to £20 on a pair of 925 sterling silver earrings. I mean, you could do that so many times over. So many times. Multi-buy. Make the earrings, make the bracelet, make the pearl necklace. Imagine the price tag you could put on an entire suite of perfectly round pearls. 30-day money-back guarantee. In that 30 days, you can take them and get a valuation. One of our customers, a good way back now, messaged us in and she said that she'd bought a strand for £19.95. She had them valued at £499 when she'd restranded them and added the clasp there. I can't tell you these would be worth that much. I can't tell you. I have no idea what they would be worth. But if ever you're disappointed, all you need to do is send them back. 30 days to do so. MQGP07 is your code. I've got so many of you buying 2s and 3s of these. Massive, massive congratulations. If you've never pearl knotted before, you can find lots of tutorials on YouTube as well. Lots of guest designers have different techniques. So just, you know, have a look, have a browse, see which one's easiest for you and have a practice as well. Susan in Norfolk, you've got 2. Sarah in Hampshire's got 3. Well done, Jill in Lincolnshire, you've just got 2 on the telephone lines. Quite a few in baskets right now, just need to be checked out. Phil, if you could write the code down for me, I'd be massively grateful. Love those. Well over half of the stock has gone already. Keep coming in and keep checking out. Clearance for you. Clearance. Have a look at these fabrics. Oh, would you look at these colours? Oh my goodness me, fabrics. It's been ages since we've had anything like this. I haven't seen anything like this for ages. You've got your satin fabrics here, 5 pieces in total, and they are 80 by 30 centimetres in size. They're actually the perfect size for cushions, I think. For those of you that have, you know, like your decorative cushions that you have on your bed. Perhaps. So you could, you can get, Ryan says no. Ryan, do you even make your bed? I have one pillow and I put my head on it and that is it. For lots of us, we have, they're called scatter cushions, I believe. Scatter cushions. I like scatter cushions, they're very decorative. But this is a great, so you know, like the shells that I had, not the shells, the keshi beads, keshi pearls that I had earlier on, and I said use them flat side on. That's the kind of thing that you can sew to a cushion and, you know, make this fabulous, fabulous design. It's the first ever project that I started working on was a cushion, and that was nearly 2 years ago, and I've still not finished it. TEFK46. I really like this mushroomy colour. It's gorgeous. 5 in total. That's a scarf right there. In fact, you could stitch a few of these together, couldn't you? And you could have a little kind of Hannah Osborne scarf, I'm thinking. And you know the safety pins that we have as well? The safety pins, that would hold that in place. So you could kind of make yourself a brooch on one of the safety... Is that for all of them? Wow. £2.95, even if you don't know what you're going to do with them yet. Do you know what? Get them anyway. They're £2.95. What does that work out to each? I know, pennies, just pennies. So yeah, if you've got the safety pins, I think we've got some coming up for you today actually. You can make yourself a brooch, get one of the cabochons, either the labradorite cab or the lapis cabs, that's what we had, didn't we? Stick one of those to one of the safety pins, pop that on there, it's going to hold your scarf in place. I've got loads of colours here. Oh, I've got a very summery one here as well, look at this colour. That's a holiday scarf right there, isn't it? Really, really pretty. £2.95 for you today. 0800 644 655. Wow, just fantastic. You could all get into it. I tell you what, our Debbie Bulford would have a field day with these, wouldn't she? 0800 644 655 TEFK 46. Same price as your postage and packaging today. You can use, you know, you can cut these out and you can use them on your fascinators. You could wrap them around your headbands, couldn't you? So you could make flowers out of these. In fact, Laura, you could take your kind of 1mm gauge wire for structure, I'm thinking, and kind of stitch your fabric around it. So use the wire as your structure and then make flowers with this gorgeous colour perhaps, and have something decorative, you know, like your more ornamental stuff as opposed to just your jewellery as well.
I mean, Gemma Crow does some amazing stuff with fabric as well. So she, you know, it's like you say, the bib style necklaces and kind of ruffling it up to create that kind of organic sort of piece really. And like you say, you can make sort of you know, sort of scarves or cushion, you know, decorative things, but you can incorporate into pretty much anything, really.
Yeah, you can, can't you? They feel lovely as well. Feel really, really silky. You've got lots of lustre from these as well. You can incorporate these into your gemstones as well. Or your gemstones into these, I should say, really. So I'm trying to do the trick.
Be good for, what are you trying to do?
Have you never seen it before?
No. Is this what you do with serviettes? No.
Well, it's what you do with a tea towel. I just thought, you know, while Laura's talking, I'll just have a go and see if it works. That's what I'm doing, Phil. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. So I don't know if you can. I hope it works. It's just this is very slippy fabric, so it's not really. It's chicken, Laura. Oh, I think she was just being polite. I think Laura was thinking, I don't know what it is, but I'm just going to say, oh, it's a chicken. Laura, you just said, oh,
how could I not see that was a chicken? Obviously, it's quite obviously a chicken.
Yeah, no. £2.95. Well done. Right. Some more fabric. Oh, look at these. Oh, these feel amazing. So you've got some velvet fabric here now. Going great. Absolutely fantastic for cushions. I mean, look at these colours. Do you know what? Our director, Ben Gibbs, would love these, wouldn't he? They are very Ben Gibbs. Fantastic. Last time we saw these was over a year ago. So you've got 3 different pieces here. Fabulous colours, different patterns. I'm just thinking when you go to kind of like the rag market in Birmingham and places like that and you try and buy fabrics like this, they normally charge you kind of like by the yard, don't they? Kind of by the metre, that kind of thing as well. And they're not that affordable, I've got to say. Cushions, for example. Just this morning, actually, before I came in, went to a big department store that kind of has that huge sale that people queue up for ridiculously. Went there, so I was looking at a cushion. Today it was £30. £30 for one cushion. Didn't get it. £1.90, not pounds. £1.95. That's for 3 pieces that you've got there. As I said before, even if you don't know what you're going to do with them yet, just get them home and just have a think about it, because they're just £1.95 for you today. They're 80 by 30 millimetres in size TFFK90 is your code for this one. You're thinking of another animal?
I was going to say it'd be good if you did resin, because you could cut the material and actually place it in the back of a pendant and then pour the clear resin over it.
So kind of use it in a bezel, if you like.
Actually have it almost as a background into a pendant or a ring and just have like part of that fabric and have clear resin over it.
That would look nice, wouldn't it?
Look cool,
That's a great idea. But yeah, you can stitch your gemstones to these as well. You know, it might be that you want to put some black spinel, some citrine in this design. You know, you could put some chalcedony and black spinel in with this design. It's entirely up to you, but it's a great kind of blank canvas, isn't it, to experiment, I think, as well. well at that kind of price tag. 0800 644 655, loads of you multi-buying, massive well done. We've got 3s, we've got 2s, we've got 4s there, lots of these in baskets. Telephone bidders, if you want to hold right now, just a couple of seconds at most, and it is a free telephone number, won't cost you a single penny. I really like this one. Do you know what I'm thinking, what are those things called? You know, for weddings that the gents have in their pockets? Cravat, that's it. Yeah, that just made me think of one of those. I think that would look quite masculine. Michelle in County Durham. Nice roast chicken. That quite possibly is one of the most random text messages we've ever had, but for obvious reasons. Those fabrics are great for table covers, for selling jewellery, especially with fascinators. Of course, yeah, you could just literally pop that on your craft stall, couldn't you? A couple of those. That's like a big table covering that you've got there. Excellent. Table runner as well, actually. Brilliant. It's time for a cheeky star buy. Star buy. Which one are we doing, Phil? Ah, the chrysocolla. Oh, have a look. Oh, I'm just going to give the desk a little wipe because we've got lots of fluff from the fabric. There we go. Get some of that fluff out the way. Have a look at these. Now, this gemstone is gorgeous. This is such a me colour. I love teals, I love greens, I love turquoises. Oh, isn't this? Do you know what, actually, interestingly, chrysocolla is a gemstone that has been mistaken for turquoise on quite a few occasions, actually. It's got a fantastic hue, but do you know what? I think this is a gemstone that is so unisex as well. I think in gents pieces, this will look fantastic. You've got such a great selection of tones, of your greens, of your blues in there, 100% natural. Now, you are looking at 90 carats of your chrysocolla there, graduated faceted pairs, 11 by 7 to 16 by 10 millimetres in size. Now, my mum said to me a couple of weeks ago, I think it was Cash in the Attic she was watching, something like that. And she said to me, oh, did you see it? Did you see it? And I said no. She said there was a lady on there that had, I think she said chrysocolla and black agate sterling silver bracelet, and it was a Tiffany bracelet. It's bought from Tiffany & Co, and this lady bought it at a car boot sale and paid 50p for it. Can you imagine a find like that at a car boot sale? Things like that never happened to me. So she paid 50p for it, so she took it on this programme. She got £1,600 for it. £1,600. Isn't that just phenomenal? It was a Tiffany bracelet, of course, so obviously you put a designer name next to anything and you can pretty much guarantee the price tag is going to rock it. But chrysocolla, it's not a very popular gemstone. It's something that you don't really see on the high street. I've never seen it on the high street. You can't say it's not there, but in fact, no, I've never seen chrysocolla anywhere. Got to be honest with you. And I do quite a lot of research. I do a lot of research with gemstones and jewellery as well. It will be there somewhere. I've just never seen it. These are beautiful. You've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19 individual gemstones on this strand. Do you know, Laura, I think there would be no better coloured finding and wire to put with this than copper. It would have to be, wouldn't it?
It has to be, yeah. It's ideal. I mean, that's, again, my favourite colourway, my favourite kind of colours, that greeny, and that's... I can see why you can say it is like turquoise, but it's got a different depth to it, and it's just beautiful. I need that strand.
It's a very standalone gemstone, isn't it? Would you put it with anything else gemstone-wise, or would you leave
Possibly would put it with the aquamarine that we had in the second kit, purely because, again, going back to what I said about having that design of the drops with the little clusters, and I think that lightness will help make that stone stand out more. Yeah. Rather than sort of detract from it.
Definitely. Do you know, just rings with this. Yeah. Statement rings, that's 19 statement rings. Actually, I've got this fluff all over my hands. I do apologise. Black fluff all over my hands. Just one of those as a statement ring. Look at that. I mean, that would be something that I would either go bare copper for, or my silver clay, I think, and my 925 sterling silver wire with that as well. That is a statement ring right there, and you could do that 19 times over. It is a gemstone that can command big price tags because of its rarity. You've got 90 carats in total here, and we are bringing you a star buy price of just £12 and 95 pence. Imagine just dropping one of those into that pearl necklace. Like those 6mm pearls, just one of those as a focal point in that pearl necklace would look beautiful. Real beachy hues they've got to them as well. You know, if you pop some Keshi pearls with these, I think they'll look fabulous as well. I've got so many of you multi-buying on this one. Who was expecting £29.95? Gotta be honest with you, I was. They're really high end, and we're at just £12.95. Andrew in County Down, Mary in Dorset, Oksana in Lanarkshire, Sally in Yorkshire's got 2, Anne in Suffolk, you've got 2, Elizabeth in Surrey, Kathy in Florida, Amanda in Kent, Annette in Dorset, Debbie in Lancashire, Veronica in Merseyside. You're there. Ooh. What happened there? The gremlins. It's the heat. It's the heat. Computer doesn't like the heat. Certificate of authenticity. Definitely get it with this one. 25 pence if you add it to your order. Or you can print it off free of charge at the website www.jewellerymaker.com. If you've just tuned in, you need to go and have a look on the web if you can. See if there is anything still available from today's show, because we have had the most incredible pieces. The one to own today was like, in fact, you know what, it would go beautifully. Sorry, Ryan. The one to own, the lavender opal. How fabulous would that go with the Chrysler colour? Oh, don't they look fabulous together? Oh, you can't see it all there, but this is a ½ metre strand that you've got there. Barbara in Gloucestershire, Anne in Merseyside, Janetta, Jacqueline, collect in Merseyside, Veronica, you've got yours, congratulations. Multi-buy if you can, that's an incredible price tag that you've got there. 0800 644 655. Now, if you did miss out on the opal, oh my gosh. Do you know what, I'm going to give you another chance to get it. We had 350 and we've got 48 left. Yikes. Now this is a 50 centimetre strand. That is, in fact, this is 53 centimetres. You will get a minimum of 50, anything else is a bonus. We played Guess the Price Tag this morning when we came in. I think I kind of set the bar. People rely on me too much, I think. I said £29.95, and then everybody kind of went round about there. But we had from £29.95 right up to £45 in the office this morning, because it is a collector's gemstone, rare, completely natural. I didn't even know this existed until this year here at Jewellery Maker. We all was way off, absolutely way off, because we've taken ½ metre of lavender opal down to just £7.95. You've got the beautiful, almost kunzite pinks in there, gorgeous lavenders, lilac hues in there as well. Stunning collector's gemstone. Do you know what? I've just thought putting these with the pearls, because I think these were they 5 to 6 millimetres, Phil, these ones? 3 to 5, I beg your pardon, 3 to 5 millimetres in size. So do you know, just taking some of those and popping them in with your pearls. Lavender opals and pearls. Now look at that for a mother of the bride design. Beautiful. Just £7.95. So we're giving you another chance. There were 49 chances left, I think, but still quite a lot in baskets. And as understandably, those of you that missed out earlier on, that weren't perhaps watching earlier on, you're coming in now. You are dialing now and you are coming in on the web. 0800 644 655. Well done if you've managed to get it today. Maybe you did see it earlier on, but you only got one. And maybe now you're thinking, do you know what? I think I'll get another one. Do it before they sell out, because they will sell out very, very soon. June in Essex, collect in Merseyside, Patricia in Hampshire, Cheryl in South Yorkshire, Victoria in Caerphilly, Peggy in Midlothian, Sue in Somerset. Well done to you. 0800 644 655. Now, I did count them out earlier on. I counted out approximately half of the strand, and we got to 60. So we were guessing that there's approximately 120 gemstones in that strand there. 3 to 5 millimetres in size. They will go a long, long way. RK Are you 1-0? Well done if you managed to get those. Aren't they beautiful? Oh, look at these. Blue agate nuggets. Tree of life. It's a perfect colour, isn't it? Speaking of Tree of Life designs, Laura, do you have anything to say to me?
No, not really. You did a beautiful Tree of Life.
Thank
it was
you.
lovely on your Labradorite Cabochon. I'm very
thanks.
proud of you.
Thank you. Thanks. It's my first one. Do you know, producer Danny said to me, you didn't do it, you didn't do it, did you? Did your mum make it? Did you take a moment?
Did your mum make it?
Tell you. Tree of Life on my Facebook page. It was the first one I'd ever made, and I was very proud of it, I tell you, very proud. Tree of Life designs are really, really popular. So you can kind of make them kind of freeform as an ornamental piece if you want to. One of our customers, Leslie, made us a huge one last year that is in the studio here. But you can make beautiful ornamental ones, or you can put them into jewellery as well, and nuggets are perfect for that. I don't think I've ever seen a blue agate strand of nuggets before. I could be wrong, but I really don't think I have. Now, Phil says, do you know what, you might never again, because this is brand new and there are only 40. Isn't that just the most beautiful hue that you've got there? Delicate blue hue, very calming, very tranquil, very serene. 155 carats at just £2.95. I mean, you could restrand that, couldn't you? And you could just have bracelets, you could have a beautiful necklace. You know, sometimes it just pop you over the head, tie a knot in it, over the maxi dress. That is the first time I have said that in 3 hours and 37 minutes. £2.95. If you've got any of the blue lace agate cabs, how fabulous would they, you know, incorporate them into the same design together. They will look stunning. I don't think, in fact, I know you're not going to see them again. MDGK90, would it be a Tree of Life for you with these, Laura Lou?
Tree of Life, but then also I love them. I love just sort of layering it and using it as a necklace for a pendant, so you can either double them up to have a lovely sort of substantial but still delicate looking kind of neck piece. Yeah. Like you say, wrapped around your wrist, keeping them simple really as well. Yeah. Add the pearls to them. That would be beautiful.
Oh, that would look nice, wouldn't it?
You know, and that lovely, again, they go lovely as an addition to sort of the second kit because of that colourway, that lovely sort of the soft muted colours. So it's a really beautiful strand.
They'd look great as well, wouldn't they? With kind of, you know, your rose quartz, you know, your baby pinks. They'd look great. You know, the soft greens, so perhaps some adventurine, if you've got some adventurine nuggets in your stash as well. Cluster earrings, they look great. Memory wire bracelets, they are beautiful for as well. But again, you know, kind of macrame and kumihimo, they look fantastic. You could simply just take this length, twist it together like I have done here, and I definitely would go for the copper wire again with this. So take some copper wire, just give it a little bit of structure and help hold it together, twist that wire around, and then just connect that to some kind of necklace or some more nuggets in a necklace, and it will look good. £2.95. What can you get for £2.95 these days? Apart from £1.95 fabric. I mean, you know, your sandwich deal down the supermarket, your meal deal. In fact, just a sandwich. If you pay less than that, it tastes like cardboard, doesn't it? MDGK90, Mary in Surrey, Sadie in Kent, you've got 2. Barbara in Kilmarnock, you've got 2. Sally in Yorkshire's got 3. Well done to you. Collect it in Northumberland, you've got 2. Well done. 0800 644 655. 155 carats in total you've got there. Beautiful, beautiful hue. They are stunning. Labradorite nuggets. They would look incredible with these, wouldn't they? If you've got any Labradorite nuggets, perfect. Do you know, there isn't pretty much any gemstone that I can think of that we don't bring you in nugget form. It's fantastic. A try before you buy price, isn't it? I would like to do... Phil knows me so well. My strand. Oh my gosh. Every time. Do you know, I have 2 of these and I still don't think it's enough. I might have to get some more. Every time I see this strand, it just melts me. Labradorite, one of the most popular gemstones here at Jewellery Maker, I think it's fair to say. It was voted your favourite for 3 years running. Only just pipped to the post last year by Tanzanite, but it is still a firm favourite. Now, the Labradorescence, the quality of our Labradorite is just ridiculous. It really, really is. I'm just going to flip that over so you can see both sides of the gemstones. I remember a good 18 months ago overhearing a conversation in the office by a manager, and she basically said, oh, wait until you see the quality of the Labradorite that we've got coming in. And do you know what I thought at that moment in time? I thought, there's no way, there's just no way it's going to beat what we already have, because it is unbelievable, the quality of our Labradorite. How wrong was I? It just keeps getting better and better and better. Check out those colours. You've got the coppers, you've got the greens, you've got the blues, you've got pinks, you've got violets flashing through there as well. It is all about the angle in, oh, I've got some reds there. All about the angle in which the light hits the gemstone to enable you to see that magnificent, magnificent Labradorescence. Now, I've got 2 of these strands. With one strand, I simply want to restrand it and have the most statement piece of jewellery, just like this, up at the neckline. It will look incredible. But with the other strand, statement rings, just statement rings, because they are so sizable. 12 by 9 to 25 by 11 millimeters in size. That is 255 carats. Now, if I just pick my favourite one here, it's a tough choice, I tell you. Let's have a look. Oh, I don't know. How long have I got? I'm just going to have to pick one. Just going to have to pick one. This one here, do you know what, quality like this, I couldn't compromise. Again, I'm a precious metal. Minimum of 925 sterling silver it would have to be for me. Just this ring here, you know, you set that into 925 sterling silver or silver clay. What kind of price tag would you pop on this at home? Can I tell you how much I'd be happy to pay for this? If it was set into silver clay, bezel set into silver clay, I would be more than happy to pay £60, £70 for that. Yeah, easy. I mean, look at the size of it. It's absolutely huge, that carat weight there. I'm going to count out how many you've got in this strand. You have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 25 individual gemstones there. 255 carats. So averagely, we are looking at a massive carat weight there. 25 gemstones, 255 carats. Is that not like, come on, Hannah, you can do the maths. 25 gemstones. Is it 25? It's not, is it? 10.2. That was going to be our next answer. 800, 644, 655. Just look at 10.2 carats per gemstone we are looking at. And we're looking at £1 per gemstone, less than, at £24 and 95 pence. And guess what? They're not going to be less than £1. Not a pound, sorry. They will be less than £1. That's where I was going with that one. RU 74, £17 and 95 pence for you today. Phenomenal. If you haven't got this strand yet, you need it. You need to get this one. Wait until you see it in natural daylight as well. If you are wearing Labradorite, or if you have it on your craft stall, people will come over. They really will. Just experiment. Just wear a Labradorite pendant or a Labradorite ring. You just see how many compliments, how many hand grabbers you get. Yeah, everybody will be picking that piece up, asking to have a closer look. RU 74, Sally in Hampshire, Wendy in Cambridgeshire, Janice, Lenora in Wiltshire, Collector in Berkshire, Barbara, you've just joined me, Gail, you're there, Wendy, you're back in, congratulations to you. 0800 644 655. That, do you know what, I think I might have to get another strand. I just love it so much. Beautiful. I've got a fabulous silver chain here, Phil. Yeah. This is fab. Is this 50 centimetres? Yeah. 50 centimetre chain. I'm going to hold that straight up just so you can see. Oh, it's cold. Right, okay, so that is end to end. End to end, that is, so that's the length that you're going to get from this. Isn't it? That's 925 sterling silver. Look at the size of the links 13.8 grams of 925 sterling silver. That's enough silver to make, gosh, I don't know, 4 or 5 rings with that. That is so much silver that you've got there. Oh, this is lush. I absolutely love it. So 925 sterling silver, that will add value to any of your designs. If you're brave enough, you could cut that for earrings if you wanted to. If you want to leave it as a necklace, all you need to do is add a clasp. You don't even need a jump ring there. Brand new 925. Look at the size of the links. Do you know, those links are sizable, not just to be able to kind of add your wire and add gemstone charms or anything like that, but also you could wire wrap gemstones into the centre. So perhaps you've got some of your micro-faceted gemstones and you just want a little pearl suspended in the middle there, or a little black spinel in there. Entirely, you could do that very, very easily. Brand new, never ever been seen before. So at 50 centimetres, you could easily get 2 bracelets out of that chain and some ear. Oh, I'd quite like it as a bracelet actually. It's the chunkiness of this. Do you like this, Laura? It's never been on before.
Never seen it before. I did not realise that was sterling silver.
It's gorgeous, isn't
That
it?
is amazing.
Isn't it?
It's just beautiful. And again, just like that, it's just beautiful. I wouldn't, you'd use it sparingly, wouldn't you? You use it to be a focal.
Yeah, definitely. And do you know what? I don't think you'd even have to do anything to this. If you just wanted to wear it as it is, make a 7-inch bracelet from it. In fact, that is totally what I do. How fabulous does that look just as it is? Brand new. Do you know what? So many of you are checking out at £27.95. Do you know what? I've got to be honest with you. There's a certain designer that I've been looking at lately that does a lot of 925 sterling silver in 3 figures. This looks so much like one of their designs. It really does. Brand new, premier price tag coming your way. Look at the texture that you've got on there as well. The work that has gone into these is just fabulous. £17.95, brand new for you today here at Jewellery Maker. 0800 644 655 ZSVV16. I've got to get this. I have to get this today. I hope the quantity is good, Phil. Yes. High double figures, not quite 3 figures, but hopefully I'll be able to get one. That is all I would do. Laura, you wouldn't even need a jump ring with that. You know, if you really wanted to be sparing with your findings.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's obviously not to sell, you know.
Put an S-clasp on it, and that would be it.
Oh.
You could make it fit anyone then.
Yeah.
And then just a little drop from the bottom, and that would be it then. And then it could be worn however you want to however you want to wear it. But it'd be lovely to add drops too.
Yeah,
you know,
I think so.
You know, you could add charms, and it's got that weight and that balance. It can balance it out.
I think almost, now the featherweight head pins, if you manage to get any 925 sterling silver featherweight head pins, just putting your nuggets on there, just literally wrapping your nuggets on there so you've got all that like jingle jangle. And this is the perfect, you know, if you've got any of those bigger 925 sterling silver charms, you know, the weighty charms, the bigger ones, you've got that chain there that is really substantial, that's going to look fantastic with that. I love this, really, really love this. Those 6mm pearls that you've got earlier on, if you just wanted to make one of these a focal point in that design, you could wire wrap one of those into the middle of that, because those links are so sizable. Michelle in County Durham, Pansy in Middlesex, well done to you. Michelle in North Yorkshire, Chrissy in Oxfordshire, Cheryl in South Yorkshire, Kathy in Kent, you've got yours, Rosie in Devon ×2, Lorna in Greater Manchester, Leslie went, there's loads of you multi-buying. So it was 50 centimetres, which is approximately 19 3/4 inches with this one. I think I'd have to go with bracelets. And you know, if you do cut it, make sure that you save that one that you've cut, because you can use that. You know, you could use it as I was just going to say, you can use it as a jump ring. In fact, if I just measure, oh, it's 10mm. Look, it says on your screen. 10mm, those links, really sizable. Collecting in Gloucestershire, Michelle in North Yorkshire. You've got your Sophie in Hertfordshire, Marilyn in Norfolk. Loads of these in baskets. Love that. Okay. Tanzanite pairs. I think it's the only strand of tanzanite I've had for you today, actually. These are really sizable. Look at these. We have a big carat weight here. Big carat weight of your faceted pairs. 40 carats in total. Aren't they gorgeous? 5x3 to 9x5mm in size, and that is a 16 centimetre strand that you have there. For me, the more carats you can get into one single gemstone, the more points, the better. And these are really, really sizable. You've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 40, 2, 4, 6. Approximately 46. So we are looking averagely of just under a carat per gemstone there. But actually, those central gemstones, you've got to be looking at least a carat. They are really, really sizable. Get your authenticity card with these. Use them as just something blue in your bridal designs. Just popping one of these into a delicate 925 sterling silver chain design would look gorgeous, wouldn't it? RU68 is your code for this one. All the way down to Bargain Town. This is our nearly, I think, our penultimate strand with you today. £16.95 for 40 carats of tanzanite. What kind of price tag would you put on a pair of earrings, Laura, do you think? So let's say it's tanzanite, so you're going to be using 95. Just 2 of those in earrings. What kind of price tag do you think you'd pop on those?
Probably about £25.
Yeah.
And that would be very simply wrapped.
Yeah.
You can use the featherweight head pins.
Yeah.
And do a very simple wrap on it. Pop it onto a shepherd hook. And yeah, about £25.
Yeah,
and that would be smaller ones as well.
That'd be something that you know, it's a really, really generous price tag with tanzanite. But you know what? The whole strand at just £16.95. Money back on one pair of earrings. That is fantastic, and you can make so many pairs of it. I think it counted 46, was it? So 23 pairs of earrings you could get from this strand. RU68 is your code for this one. Lots and lots of you there with these in baskets. Just make sure you're checking out. Now, the one to own today, it's the best we've ever had. It really, really is. It was a ½ metre. How are we for quantity now, Phil? 18. That's all we have. It is the final chance to get your hands on this strand today. We started with 350. I have 17 chances available at this moment in time. Once this is gone, it is gone. There is no guarantee that we will have another strand like this. There's no guarantee that if we have any quantity left, we will bring you this price tag again. £7.95 for 55 carats of lavender opal, 3 to 5 millimetres in size. Can I just say, there are 52 in baskets right now at this moment in time. So we are already actually over allocated. You're not all going to be successful. If you want this, you need to check out at £7.95 for approximately 120 gemstones that you have here. I would not hesitate at that price tag. These will be snapped up. Do not sit there later on tonight thinking, oh, wish they were £7.95. Get them now. Use your 30-day money-back guarantee. We've never had a strand of lavender opal this long before. We've just not had it. There are so many gemstones on that strand, and they're the perfect size to kind of do your kumihimo with, your macrame, when you're using your bead loom. They look gorgeous in designs like that. You've got that slight graduation throughout the strand. If you've got any blue opals, a Peruvian blue, the pinks, the greens at home, alongside those, they will work fabulously. RKRU10, your last chance to get this. You can dial in now as well, 0800 644 655. All of you that have them in your basket, check out, you're going to miss out. Right, I'm coming over, Laura. Shall I bring my chicken?
Oh.
Ah, look at that chicken. All right, isn't it sweet chicken? If you've just tuned in, by the way, you've missed out on loads and loads of treats today. We had a really spectacular show. The kits, I think, sold out, both kits. But just have a look on the web and see if there is anything still available. Now, we did set Laura Lou a challenge. It's a cuff.
Yeah.
Bracelet design. This is gorgeous. We set Laura a challenge earlier with the new pyrite cabochons that we had. She'd wrapped the actual cab. She wasn't sure what she was going to do with it. She couldn't decide whether it was going to be a pendant or whatever it was going to be. But now I love this. Isn't that gorgeous? That's really kind of red carpet, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit more sort of, you know, individual. It's sort of offset a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that design. Now, 5 cabochons I had in my pack You could get less, you could get more, but you are guaranteed that carat weight. £9.95 we took them down to as well. Isn't that just incredible? And they're brand new today as well. Never seen them before, so fantastic opportunity for you to get yourself a premiere. Do remember, with every single purchase here at Jewellery Maker, you've got a 30-day money-back guarantee. 30 days to think about your purchase. So any of you that are not satisfied, any of you that don't get on with your tools perhaps, or find that you're not actually going to use that gemstone strand, you don't know what to use it with, just send them back. No money-back guarantee. You have nothing to lose here at Jewellery Maker. You've got that free telephone number, you've got your 30-day money-back guarantee, you've got incredible prices, and you've got one postage and packaging from midnight last night right through until midnight tonight. That happens every single day. So even if you come in today and you've bought 50 pieces, 100 pieces, a chicken, you will still only pay one postage and packaging of £2.95. And you can, of course, upgrade to your premium, which is £4.95, if you want to get your bits that little bit quicker as well. Well done if you've already got the pyrite. We'll leave those on the web for you to check them out. Laura, it has been an experience, as always.
As always.
When are you back?
Tomorrow on the late show.
Yes. Oh, what have you got tomorrow?
What have I got?
Yeah.
I've got turquoise cabochons and feet beads.
Oh, of course, you told me earlier on, didn't you? Oh, I'll be watching. I will be
Just
watching.
for entertainment value.
Yeah, brilliant. Cannot wait for that. Purple labradorite cabochons coming up for you on the late show this evening, so do make sure that you are staying tuned. Loads and loads of treats coming up for you. I will be back with you on Monday. Oh, it's the most wonderful time of the year. I'm not going to sleep on Sunday. It's going to be like Christmas Eve. Yeah. It is Christmas Day here on Monday, so do make sure you do. Do you know what? Even if you don't like Christmas, it's an excuse for us to go really low on loads of things for you, so make sure you're coming back. Whatever you do for the rest of your weekend, have a great one, have a safe one. I shall see you back here on Monday with Gemma Crow at 1 o'clock. Take care.